Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nullified Take channel on YouTube, where we've got the TNT takes for you for the very first time in about, I don't know, it's been about 12 months. It's been about a year since the last time we had Australian Survivor, but for the first time in a very long time, we're here to talk about Australian Survivor. It is actually the show that brought all three of us together onto the same podcast. I did podcast separately with Kahuna, but Kahuna, myself, and Mucky have never been a trio prior to the previous coverage that we did for Australian Survivor. And we had a lot of fun. So we thought, let's run it back, baby. I mean, Heroes versus Villains, such a great season. Rebels versus Titans, hoping it's going to deliver to that same magnitude. I'm your host, Chris. With me is my co-host, Kahuna and Mucky. I'm going to go over to Kahuna first. Kahuna, give us your brief thoughts on Rebels versus Titans. How excited were you when this great theme was selected for the season? And any other thoughts that you have about the season coming into it?
I mean, I'm excited overall because it's Australian Survivor, and we all know where that sits currently in the pantheon of Survivor. I'm hoping that 2024 is just as good as 2023 because Heroes vs. Villains was an amazing season. Is it going to have anything to do with the theme at all? No, I don't know what a Titan is. I don't know what a Rebel is. It feels like someone tried to do the sequel to, Champions and Contenders, but had to change it up somewhat a little bit. I'm not sure, but no, I'm not excited about the theme because they never actually do anything, but I'm excited that it's going to be Survivor season again. That's for sure. I'm hoping for a big one.
Yeah, definitely. Mucky, what's your thoughts on this new season? Do you maybe believe there's someone, maybe a rebel in this season that could eclipse your boy Sneaky Steve when it comes to your favorite Survivor of all time? Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think we'll spot them today?
Well, I hate to say it, but I feel like they've already spoiled who the winner is since there's already a contestant named Winner. Right, like obviously the Soul Survivor's right there, but no, I'm so excited to talk about this season. Heroes versus Villains, what a global phenomenon! The entire world was watching that season alongside with us, and I think the season's got a lot to step up for. But as Kahuna said, it's Australian Survivor, right? I personally feel like it's the best of all four survivors, and yeah, I'm just really excited that we're finally getting Australian Survivor again. It's awesome.
I know you're very high on it. I'm high on Australian Survivor for the drama factor of what it's going to bring as well. So I am excited to see who are going to be, or to go through the cast list of who's going to be playing this season. And for everybody in the live, let's say hello to everybody first before we sort of get into the format of tonight's podcast and how it's going to work. Kiwi, welcome back to the live. Aaron, good morning as well. Palava Girl, hello. And then also we've got Tom here saying, who's keen to see me play this season? Tom, I wasn't aware that you actually were on this season, but yeah, great to have you here in the live. Kiwi saying, lol at Tom. Also, the Fury Tiger here saying, hello, everyone. Australia Survivor is back. My favorite franchise. So right there with Mucky in regards to this being the top franchise for Fury Tiger. Wolf, also one of the Rebels is a maths teacher. Anyone know how that works? And then Kiwi says, Aussie is a great franchise. Chardude, welcome as well.
That's the other thing. I, as we go through the videos, because I have watched them, and one thing that I laughed at, and which I love, is how you they go, you have to squint really hard and squeeze and pry and just really slam it in that this person happens to also be a Titan. Like, we're gonna see how that was. That the labels are very broad, very
broad.
loose.
It's quite similar in Brains versus Brawn, how on the Brains tribe you had Baden, who was a professional cyclist who did the Tour de France, but that's not a Brawn. That's
No,
a
he was a
brain
brain.
because it's all about mental willpower, not anything to do.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this is an age-old thing. No matter the franchise, they sometimes really stretch to fit players in certain categories. You know, game changers come to mind in a season in the US where we didn't have many actual game changers come back to play the game, but they were game changers for some other reason. So for me, it doesn't really bother me too much. I think personally, my take on it is that the theme of the season is there to get casual viewers to come in and watch the show. That's really all it is. It's there to give them something easy to say, oh, great, it's rebels who do things the unorthodox way in life going up against Titans who are like the CEOs or the bosses of the world, you know? So it gives people a team to shout for. So it just attracts attention to the franchise. But we all know it's really Champions versus Contenders 3, but it's nicely packaged as something different as Rebels versus Titans. But let's have a look at what the format is going to be tonight. So what we're going to be doing tonight here, it's going to be a little bit different to what we've done previously. Whenever we've done a cast assessment, we sort of do a draft with it as well. But due to the fact that time has been short for myself this year coming into Australian Survivor, then moving some dates on us as well, making the show actually premiere a week earlier than what we thought, I haven't had much time to catch up. So I've seen 3 of the actual cast videos. I haven't looked at much of the cast. So I'm coming into this podcast with very, very fresh eyes, and we're going to be watching the cast videos live here on the stream, and then we're going to talk about the different cast members, and we're going to tier list them going into the season. So there's going to be 4 tiers. They're going to be a tier of sole survivors. Those are the people that we think has the potential, just based off this video alone and based off maybe a little bit of information that we read, to win this whole thing. Then we're also going to look at that are post-merge. Those are the ones that we don't know quite if they're going to win it, but we think there's enough there for them to make it to the very important midway point of the game. Then we're going to rank people in pre-merge. So these are the ones that we think will get cut short of the merge. And there's going to be someone by the end of this that will remain in first boot. We're going to put it all on the line by predicting who we think are the potential first boot of the season. Now, I think what will be a lot of fun by the end of this season, boys, is that, we should definitely save this and then midway into the season, have a look to see how correct we were. And then also by the end of the season to see who actually wins, because none of us are spoiled. We don't know what's going to happen, which is exciting to me. I always love making bold calls and being completely wrong with egg on my face. So if there is a player in the live or a player who listens to this at a later stage, please don't take any of the things that we say tonight personal. We do like to have some fun. We do like to joke around, but we understand that we don't know you as an individual outside of the game, and it's going to be based on very short clip that you've given the producers in a video chat. And, we've been wrong. I've been wrong many a times. Not as wrong as Mucky, but I've also had some horrible takes.
I was just gonna say that the reason why you're not doing the draft this time is because you're scared that I'm gonna whoop your ass this time.
Sometimes you got to quit while you're ahead, mate. Sometimes you got to quit while you're ahead. I won the last draft, so I'm happy to be out on that one as well. Let's have a look here at what people are saying before we get into it. And then we're going to be straight into it. Chadu is saying, good to be back. It's good to have you here. Kiwi Skid is saying, the challenge does it too, so I'm okay with it. Palava Girl says, agree, Aussie Survivor is head over US, my own country. Just great gameplay. Kiwi Skid saying, I didn't even know it was coming until I saw this pop up. Okay, Tom's apparently in the show. He could be. I haven't looked at the cast yet, so if he's in there, it's going to be a shock to me, Aaron's saying there should be 2 people under the first boots category, 1 for each tribe. Good disclaimer. So I think that for me, I'm more than happy to go with 1 from each tribe as a potential first boot. I do think for Sole Survivor, we also have to try and limit it to 1 from each tribe. So there's only 2 in that. And then most of the others will fall in post and pre-merge, so that it becomes a really difficult choice here. We can
Yeah.
obviously, but we can also rank people like, so whoever's closest to being sole survivor is like who we would have thought if those two win at the top, they have a
Yep.
good shot or something like that, and we'll have some fun with it. Now, because this is the first time we're doing it, everybody will have to let me know if they can hear it on the live when we share the video side of things. I'm going to go to a channel on YouTube for these videos as well. For those people who are not aware, a little bit of a shout out here for a friend of the channel, Mud Survivor. Mud is an Australian content creator for YouTube and does post a lot of Australian Survivor content on his channel, like videos and things that may be geo-blocked in other places. So if you're someone that's from the US and you want to watch some of the videos and you can't see it, Mud Survivor is the place to go. So go give my boy Mud Survivor a subscribe. He's at 1,500 subs at the moment. So let's try and see if we can get him as close as possible to 2,000 subs. And Mud's been a subscriber of this channel right from the beginning. I think when we were like at 100 subs, he was one of the channels that subscribed to us. So we're going to go there. Fighting words from Mucky Chris. Get him. Yeah, listen. You know, Mucky's one of those guys. He may be lying on his back, nearly knocked out, but he's still jibber jabbing. You know, he still has some words as he's lying on his back.
Can I quickly say something about the season just before we start? Have either of you kept track of the marketing of the season?
No.
So I've written,
a lot, has there?
I've written this down in my notes. What they've done is that they've had like the main trailer and then some of like the character trailers and stuff of kind of like the main people of the season. But then they'll take that post down and then repost it.
Oh, really?
And they've been doing it for like 3 or 4 weeks now, where it's like they keep reposting the same few videos. So I've a pretty good idea on who I think is actually going to be making it far or not. Because I feel like the fact that they keep reposting the same videos makes
That's
you
why
really
you wanted
want
the
to
draft. That's why you really want.
Yeah, I don't
hand.
follow, and I'm so glad that I am one of those fans that don't, because Australian Survivor is very bad at spoiling things. So I'm glad I don't take note of things, because I don't enjoy, like, if I know who's going to win, this whole season for me is going to be a drag to get through. It was kind of like Blood versus Water when I picked Mark Wales to win, I think, episode 3, and I kind of just saw the storyline throughout that whole season. Similar to Haley, the season prior to that, I picked her really early, and those were two of the most difficult seasons for me to watch because I thought it was so clear who was going to win. And it's, you know, we speak about Australian Survivor being a great franchise, but I've been pretty critical of the fact that they only focus on maybe 4 players throughout the season and the rest all gets purpled. I'm still not high on that. And I think their marketing can be bad at times as well. So, you know, those are the two things that takes away from the enjoyment for me personally. So I'm glad I don't know. What I will ask you though, Mucky, is because you know a little bit, is to use your best acting skills, not to let myself and Kahuna know or the audience know who you think are 100% at that level, so that we can keep our audience sort of guessing, similar to us, as much as possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is the first person that is in our basically on our tier list that we need to rank is going to be, I don't know how to pronounce it, Viola, the powerlifter.
Viola. Yeah.
Right, so we're going to look at her video first, and I'm just going to make sure that you guys can hear this. Can you both hear this when it's on?
Yeah.
My name is V. I'm 22. I'm a powerlifter. I'm also a coach. I have a larger than life personality. I'm very adventurous, and I don't believe that anything can stop me. I am one of 13. It's a huge family. The thing with a big family is there will always be sides. It's like you got to pick an alliance in a way. I know how to fight for food, how to fight for space, how to fight for TV, how to fight for parental time. All of that has helped me prepare for Survivor. If you need to get strong for anything, whether it's a sport or a job, I'm your go-to. If you want to be able to lift a whole bunch of weight, I'm your go-to. So anything that has a goal and you need to get stronger for that goal, I am your person for that. Powerlifting has given me strength, and that's going to help me in the challenges. But more than that, powerlifting has given me the belief that nothing can stop me. That's what powerlifting has given me the most. It's giving me the understanding that nothing stands in my way, only me. I'm going to use that on the game. People always underestimate me because of how old I am. And I don't mind it. I don't mind it. If anything, I love to prove people wrong. People think that I'm very goofy and charismatic and I'm 22 and that doesn't mean much. And I'm going to use that to my advantage because beneath this 22-year-olds, I pack a real punch and you're not going to know till it hits you. My obvious strength is my physical strength, but I think what people underestimate is my social strength. They don't understand I'm going to work to get to know everyone on a deeper level to the point where it almost hurts to vote me out. Everyone knows me for my energy. Everyone knows me for my charisma. I will charm the socks off of you. You will be giving me your idol and you won't even realize it. I'm a Titan because I'm strong. I'm a Titan because I'm fierce. I'm a Titan because I do not give up. I'm a Titan because I'm kind, but if you mess with me, I will show you just how rebellious I can be. Queen V is here to take her throne, and you will sit and watch.
All right, there we go. That is Queen V. Very interested to know, boys. Thoughts? Kahuna, start with you first.
Muscle mummy. I love Queen. I just wanted to hold me. I wanted to do stuff with her thighs.
Whoa. Whoa. Kahuna.
No, I love
The
Queen
kids are
V.
watching.
And powerful, strong, black woman. Bring it. Like, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means as far as strategy, survivor, and all that goes, but I'm okay watching that for now. I just want to see her lift coconuts and stuff. I'm fine with it. I'm good with the muscle mummy. I mean, I don't know where I would put her on the thing, but I'll watch her the whole way.
Yeah. Palavigal, I will definitely add a link to Mud's channel in the bottom of this video later on, so you guys can go check it out as well and support Mud as well. Yeah, lots of admiration there from Kahuna. I feel like Kahuna is someone who does love his strong women, especially in the challenge as well. So I do feel like she's someone that probably, if Survivor doesn't work out for her, probably should be on a short list to go and play the challenge after this, because physically she seems like a beast coming into this game. She's only 22, which is quite surprising because she comes across as quite mature, confident when she's speaking to the camera. I do think that when it comes to being a powerlifter, who was that girl who was like a bodybuilder that played with Michelle one season as well? You remember there was the Ko-Rong season? I'm going to go search this up now.
Sydney.
Sydney.
On the Brawn Drive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She gives me kind of Sydney vibes potentially, and Sydney was a great player that season as well. Because people who are bodybuilders or powerlifters, people think that they're jocks or whatever you call the equivalent for females, but it actually takes a lot of mental strength to get to the point that they get. And they have to be so calculated on their nutrition, what they put into their body. And I don't think people always give the credit where it's due when it comes to players or people like that. So she could potentially be calculated, but the only fear I would have for her, but to me, she's definitely a lock for post-merge. They're going to need her strength, and I just don't see them getting rid of her. My only downside would be is because she's so young, does she know the limitations of her own social game and how far she can push? I don't know if she's had enough life experience yet to be able to get to the end of the game and win it. That would be the only downside, Maki. Thoughts on Viola?
Yeah, so I guess coming into this, I've got two players in mind who I think can do really well this season, and she's one of them. I feel like she's got the personality of Marianne from American Survivor season 42. But also with that really strong, exactly. But also she's got she's obviously very strong. I think she's very capable, especially in the pre-merge of Australian Survivor, where it is just extremely physical. And I could see her potentially taking it in the end as well. But in my own personal bootless rankings, I do have her making sort of the mid post merge. I feel like that she's going to be a really big personality, a really big player this season, and potentially around mid post merge. That's when I think she'll be taken out.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with that. Kiwi Skirt seems to be agreeing with my assessment. Kiwi, I do get it. I do think that Marianne was very high energy. She's beloved by the online community. She was high energy. I said from the start of that season, if I had to be on a beach with her starving, it would have been too much for me to deal with. But I do think if you follow Marianne's journey even afterwards, and she kind of grew on me throughout the season as she lost a little bit of that energy and was depleted of food and things like that. And if you followed her journey afterwards and how she moves within the Survivor circles, like, I mean, very deserving as a fan favorite to win, and still being a big fan herself. But yeah, for me, she's
With me,
definitely.
though, if
Yeah.
he was annoying you, Chris, you wouldn't say anything, though, would you? She's like, what are you going to do
listen,
about it?
she would just kill me. But no, like I don't get the same vibes from V. I don't get V vibes at all. Actually, sorry, Marianne vibes at all. I don't think she's over the top. I just think she's very confident, self-assured. I think some people will say maybe there's something in the way that she carries herself, but I don't think her personality. I think it's two very different. They're going to be two very different players, personally, if she gets out there. But for me, I would be more than comfortable putting her in post-merge. I don't see her going anywhere early in the game, at least. And we can obviously debate this as we start putting people on post and pre-merge, because we're going to have to go half and half, right? So if we feel like there's someone else that we see in the game that we think will have a better chance of making it to post-merge than her, we can bounce her back later on. Make sense? Okay, and just before we get into the next video, for those that are watching us on Instagram, we've got our boy Troy Cullen in there as well. When can we get Troy from the challenge on Survivor? I feel like he would do extremely well. I don't know if he would like to go on the challenge and be starved of food. We've also got Australian Survivor memes on the Instagram, and then Cooper and Pies Yums as well. Whenever Instagram cuts out, we've got an hour limit on Instagram lives. Just jump on YouTube and join us on this side if it does cut out. Let's have a look at the second video. And for the second one, we are going to go, let's go over to one of the rebels. Let's go and look for Raymond's video on this next one. And let's bring Raymond up. So let's have a look. And obviously, I'm searching for this now for the first time as well. So you guys just have a look and see if I am going past. Here we go. Raymond.
My name's Raymond. I'm 27, live on the Central Coast, and I work in retail. While you're working my position, you'll learn a lot about a lot of different things, and you meet a lot of people who have very specific interests, very niche things, and you always learn something. I mean, I think the people that I surround myself really make an impact. Family, friends, just pop culture. I think everything sort of shapes you. The aspects of my job I don't like are the people that are going in for the cliche things, but if someone comes in with like some shirts that is encapsulating what he loves, and he goes and buys something that's interesting. It's just the people that are interesting stand out. I like these people, the freaks of the world. Everybody loves an underdog, and like the rebels are the underdogs of the world. If my money's on a rebel, like I'm gonna be on the same tribe as the person that wins this game, and it could be me. I want people to idolize us. I want people to idolize the weird thinkers, the abstract people, the people that see the little cracks. At the very beginning, there's Survivor, the first globalized reality TV show, and I'm someone that likes the history, the things that inspire the other aspects of life. And best case scenario is write myself into the Survivor Legends, and $500,000 is nothing to cough at. I mean, that would be a life-changing amount of money. So much you can do with that. I'm a risk taker if I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be, Raymond, he is a risk taker. But why did he risk doing something like that? That makes no sense. And it's going to be funny. Even if it's going to be miserable conditions, at least there's going to be uncertainty. And I like uncertainty because it's not boring. I want people to underestimate me, and because of that, I'm going to be able to do things that catches them by surprise.
Okay, Raymond. Is that Tom? Did he dye his hair and put his video in and changed his name to Raymond? Mucky as Tom's best friend.
I would not go that far.
Don't lie, you boys are on each other's DMs all the time. Can you confirm or deny? I feel like you're the only one who's done a video chat with him before. Can you confirm or deny if that's Tom?
Well, just leave it up to suspense. I will not confirm. No.
What do you think about
Sort of-
Raymond? What do you think about Raymond? Do you like our boy Raymond going into the season?
Well, I feel like he's got a very similar strategy to how I would play the game, which is just make moves, not because it seems smart, but just because it'll be pretty funny. Like
I got that vibe as well. I got that vibe as well. Like I feel like Raymond may be your spirit animal for this season.
Yeah, but unfortunately, because of the like how I sort of made my bootless and stuff, I did have him going pre-merge, actually. But this is just because of my study on how different characters tend to go out in previous Australian Survivor seasons. I feel like he's like the big player that gets taken out, like in between the swap and the merge phase. You know, because that's sort of when the more strategic sort of loosey goosey. I'm not sure about that, Tom.
I was going to say,
not,
can you
I'm not
confirm or
sure
deny
about
that?
that, Tom. No, he's Tom is not more handsome than Raymond. You know, I don't swing that way, but we'll go for Raymond over Tom. But
You heard it here first, team. You heard it here first. Yeah. So, Mucky, so you're saying you think he's going to be a pre-merger potentially, and you know, it's sad to see you not backing your own game plan there, or maybe you want to be the only rebellious player with making these big moves for the sake of making big moves to make it to a merge. But Kahuna, I do want to go over to you because we've got one vote for him to be a pre-merge. Are you going to go down that same road? Because 2 votes will put him in pre-merge regardless of what I say in regards to this. But where do you see Raymond? Do you like him? Is there some redeeming qualities there? You know, obviously he's a bit of a quirky character.
He is, but I don't see it as quirk. Like, so I wrote incredibly brief notes last night watching some of these videos, learning about some of the people in preparation for what was originally going to be a draft. And I may have been slightly medicated at the time, and all I wrote was retail. All I wrote was retail weirdo.
No.
and I I don't think there's a lot. Like, I feel like he is quirky, but not to the point where, like, I feel like he's quirky enough where the alphas won't connect with him as much, and I feel like he's going to be expendable to people. He's not going to have the deep connections. I don't know what Mucky's
If he was
basing
playing-
him being a big player off of. I don't know how.
I think if he played Survivor US, shoo-in to make it to the merge. You know, but playing Australian Survivor, where you're right, there are a lot more jocks. There's a lot more athletes. It's not some of the people. Like, I feel like Raymond would have potentially been cast on Survivor US in the way that they cast at the moment, because they're looking for the outcasts nowadays when they put people onto the show. That's why we've had so many outcasts make it to the end of the game in the US. But I don't know how he's going to translate to the Aussie show. So at this stage, I'm also thinking pre-merge. But I can say this. Yeah, but I can say this. So, I mean, that's a lock with all 3 of us saying pre-merge. And Raymond, if you're listening to this, you're going to be someone this season that I'm going to root for. Like, I don't go with Kahuna on like retail this and that. I really want to say, like, you know, I think you're going to be fun to watch. And if you can pull a couple of crazy moves off, and if you can be a sneaky conniving player that does that, we need a Johnny Fairplay like player in Australian Survivor, which I think you could be that kind of person. And I will say in retail, it's sometimes I feel like it is one of those things where people take for granted the amount of people skills you need to have, because you're dealing with people and different characters on a consistent basis that are coming in. And let's be honest, people sometimes that come in and their customers and retails can be assholes as well. And you've got to be professional and have a certain game face about you. So I feel like from that point of view, he should be okay. And I've got to say, it brought a smile to my face when he picked up the old Survivor Borneo DVD and he had it in his hands. It brought a smile to my face, and I want to back someone like that. I don't know how much he learned strategy wise from that season because it's so long ago and doesn't apply to any of Australian or Survivor US in current stage. But really, really cool video. Really cool to see him with that sort of DVD in his hands. Let's see what people are saying here in the live. Palavigal saying Aaron Moran took that into account, but yeah, I get your point. Yeah, I know I think Kuna's being naughty tonight. I don't know what's in his drink, but he's being spicy.
No, it was retail full stop. I just meant that's like a straight, I just, when you typing notes, like teacher, you know, real estate, Retail. I didn't mean that retail is in any way a thing. Like, I think it can be incredibly helpful.
It was the
for the
word
way
you
you
used
relate
after
to people.
retail. You said
He's
retail.
also a weirdo. But I just realized, right? If you look at the retail that he does, was gaming. I think it looked like an EB Games or something like that. So he mentioned pop culture, so he is a bit of a nerd. He may be into strategy, like gaming. He's a bit of a gamer. He's got the old school Survivor
Could be
fandom
Baden.
there. There
be
could be a
Baden
bit
from this
to
team.
it, you know. There could be a bit to him.
Yeah. Sandy says Raymond looks like a pre-merger, might be playing too hard, too fast, unless there's many fans like him in the tribe. Kiwi says completely agree with Kahuna. He seems an early out rather than later for me. And also says if he can keep to find the right people to trust, maybe he can do something. Beloved Girl says, yes, fair play, Chris. You beat me to it. He might be better than US Fair Play. Well, I'm a fan of Fair Play, and especially his first season. So if he can be a Fair Play-like player, I will enjoy him this season. And like I said, we have got very little to go off so far. All of our predictions may be very wrong when the game actually starts. Kiwi Skirt saying if he can find the right people to trust, then maybe he can go far. On that note, let's go back and have a look at our next player. And it is going to be someone that I don't know. And I think a lot of people in Melbourne is going to be disappointed. It's going to be the AFL player, Nathan, that is going to be next in line for us to have a look at their video. So let's have a look at Nathan. Here we go.
I'm Nathan Freeman. I'm 28. I'm an AFL player manager and I live in Melbourne, Victoria. So I used to play myself. I got drafted in 2013 to Collingwood Magpies, spent 2 years there. Got traded to St Kilda for 3 years, but my career was a bit of a roller coaster, more downs than ups. But those experiences through my career sort of put me on a good path to explore player management after my career. So I've been the manager for about 5 or 6 years now, and my experiences in my career has helped me impart some knowledge on players that I manage and sort of setting them up for success in their own careers. Yeah, I go about it a little bit differently than most managers. I think that's a bit of a strength of mine, being personable, having the on-field experience as well as the off-field experience. So I think that sets me apart. So in life and in my line of work, you have to have the gift of the gab or else you just don't survive and you don't build those relationships and get the best deals possible for your players and your clients. So being able to talk to people and relate and make things up if you have to, just to sort of strike that relationship. I do see myself as a leader, and it will be hard not to come in and try and lead the tribe. I just love getting stuff done. I want things done yesterday, so I think it's probably something that I'll have to bite my tongue a little bit and not get too far ahead of myself, wanting to impart sort of my strengths and my opinion on things. I've got some pretty strong morals outside of the game, but I think like Survivor, this isn't real life. This is a game, and being able to exploit at times, manipulate at times. Like I'm pretty strong morally and pretty headstrong outside of the game, but yeah, I think that goes out the door playing Survivor. I'm charming, I've got good looks, and I'm not afraid to use that to get wherever I need to in the game. Winning the title of Sole Survivor, for me, it's someone who outwit, outlast, outplays. Like, you've got to have the ultimate social game, the ultimate physical game, the ultimate mental game, the ultimate emotional game. Like, it's everything you can ask for of the experience of life in one game. And you want to play an exciting game, a strategic game, and being able to sit as Sole Survivor means you've done just that. So, and I think, you know, with cost of living at the moment, winning that 500 grand probably goes a long way.
All right, there we have it. Nathan, an AFL player, joins the game. And we know that with sports stars, it has been hit or miss. Probably, in my opinion, the best one so far has been The Godfather, obviously, when he came in. You know, but looking at Nathan, does he have that upside, or would he potentially be someone that won't take to the game? He said a lot of the right things there, Kahuna. What's your early thoughts about Nathan coming into this game?
I like Nathan. He feels like one of those total package kind of guys. Obviously going to be incredibly athletic. Like that, like former professional athlete is going to have the physical side down. And former athletes often go one or two paths. They'll go into being a physical, a physical job that they'll either go blue collar or sometimes they go white collar. And for him to be able to make that merge to player management means that there's a lot going on upstairs as well. He's obviously very smart, very switched on. You have to know a lot about legal, a lot about finances, a lot about, and then there's the influencing and, the actual personality management and all that. So he seems to have a lot going for him. I'm wondering, though, my downfall for someone like him is that because he does seem like that and looks like that and seems to be an alpha in every sense of the word, does that make him an easy target? Kind of, will he be able to help himself from being at the front and make himself a target? And will people look at him and go, this guy's like either, he mentioned I'm charismatic and good looking. When people point that out, like it's a good thing. But so he might be a target because he's actually
somehow I don't feel like
seems
Sean
well
Sean
suited
wouldn't
to
have
the
said
game.
that. Sean wouldn't have
No.
been like, I'm charismatic and good looking, but he knew he was, and he was, I think, a pretty effective player at the game, Sean, in the 2 seasons that he's played. But you're right, it kind of gives me that sort of, Sean went early after the merge in both seasons, but he kind of got there. If Nathan is potentially a little bit worse and he's a little bit too self-aware, maybe a little bit up himself, like Tom says here, Simon 2.0, but less entertaining, not self-aware, big potato energy, big shots being called here. Marcus is saying we'll easily make the merge, but we'll go out at either the merge boot or early merge unless he can downplay his physical strengths like Mark Wales did. I don't think he is. I don't know if he's like, I feel like Mark Wales gets underestimated, but it was also Mark Wales' second game. So I don't think Nathan's got the hindsight of having played once and now he can amend that game. So he might be a little bit not as aware, and he could play like Mark Wales the first season, where he went early. So I'm still very 50-50 on if he is a post-merge or a pre-merge in my head. But I do agree, Kuna, you made some great points. He's obviously clearly capable of being a manager for players, approaching clubs, making deals, negotiating, those types of things. He's got those skill sets. So it could come in handy in the game, but it could also be the thing that people look at and say, well, he's physically gifted, he's good socially, he's convincing, he's kind of a leader. There's too many. Get him out early before he wins the game. Mucky, where do you sit on him? Before we go on, Kuna, where do you see him? Post or pre-merge? I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm thinking pre-merge. Although he is on the Titans team, right? So maybe the Titans might be like, have that, when they actually buy into the theme and like want to keep it, Titans strong, and maybe they're gonna go down that path. So he could kind of get his alphas around and get into the merge, but I'm still thinking pre-merge for someone like this who might lead from the front a little bit too loudly.
Right. So you're thinking pre-merge. Mucky, where are you putting him on this one?
Well, I find it quite interesting that Kahuna talks about how Nathan could go the blue collar route or the white collar route, because I personally don't see it that way because I'm colorblind. And so I've had the joke in my head all the time.
Mucky is no collar.
No collar. I think it's really hard for Nathan because I kind of see 2 different paths for him. I feel like he could be like the Croc of the season, where he is like somewhat of a big player, but he does get taken out just short of the merge, or he is like a Sean or like a Sam Webb, someone who does get sort of taken out around that early merge spot. I do think it will come down to how the tribe swap and potentially non-eliminations will help set him up, but I will have to go with Kahuna. I think he makes it just before the merge, sort of
Nathan,
like a vote or 2 before the merge.
Sorry, buddy, I was going to put you on post-merge, but the boys, they have the ruling vote here. So, if it turns out the other way, you know where to bring the fire. It's Sakuna and Mucky that put you in the pre-merge section here.
I've got an idea. Can I quickly share it?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Kahuna.
I might regret it.
We go way back to $1 Million Island, Squid Game. We've had a lot of crazy takes. So here's what I propose. For all of Chris's favorites, we put them in pre-merge, right? Because we can break this cast breakdown just by outvoting them each time. So let's make sure all the memeable characters are Soul Survivor or post-merge, and all of Chris's favorites are first boot or
well,
pre-merge.
here's the problem with that logic, Mucky. Now, in any normal season where I've done my homework and I knew who my favorites were coming into this, it may have worked. I even don't know who my favorites are coming into this season, so it's going to be hard to do. But I do want to ask you, boys, do you reckon that he is ahead of Raymond or behind Raymond? I think he's ahead of Raymond. Do you guys have any objection with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put him ahead of Raymond in that list. Probably someone that could possibly still get to the post-merge, depending on if he can find his feet early on, maybe employ a meat shield strategy
meat
with
shield.
some other
Yeah, he
good
needs
players around him.
Meat shield.
Yeah, and he'll get there. Will you upload the tier list? Yeah, 100%. We can do that. Welcome to the live as well, Xander Davies. Okay, and yeah, because I feel like Xander's that guy. He's all girl. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. But Xander's that person that's sitting there and he's like, I'm going to hold these guys accountable at the end of the season when they finish the season. And all I'm going to say, Xander, it wasn't me. It was Kuna Maki who said he was pre-merge, So, but anyways, let's go on to the next one. And the next one that we're going to do is Scott from the Rebels tribe. So let's have a look at another Rebel here in the game. And Scott, let's have a look. Scott. Does he have Scott uploaded? That's the question. I may not see him.
Yes, I think it's towards the top.
Towards the top?
Yeah. Is
Alex.
that oh, no.
Scott, yep, you're right.
Okay.
I'm Scott, I'm 31, and I'm from Hobart, Tasmania. I'm a pretty free-spirited kind of person. I go with the flow. I like to kind of shake things up. I love adventure, and that's why I'm here. Like, I want to do big, crazy things, and this is the ultimate of that. So I'm an art director at Mona, which is a pretty wild and weird job. It can be one day going to the museum and shooting content, then another day organizing a shoot for a product that, the museum wants to put out. We do it the Mona way, and there's always kind of a spin to that, and I'm the one kind of making sure that that brand is there and that idea still comes across and is something no one's seen before. It's a huge responsibility, but I kind of love that too. I thrive under pressure, and that's when I can start just doing my thing and getting all the creative juices flowing, and that's when I'm in my happy place. I think people's biggest misconception of me would be that I am just a smiley, happy-go-lucky, chill dude. And I am, that's all true, but I think there's this other side to me, and I love strategy and I love games. That's part of my job. Like, I'm puzzle solving constantly, but finding new ways of solving puzzles. I want to make things that are first of their kind, not been seen a million times before, and I hope I can bring that to Survivor too. There's definitely people I've watched and thought that's who I'll play like. I love Hayley's gameplay. She's calculating, but she's very calm. She's relaxed and she seems to have fun in the game. It's something she's a fan of, and that's definitely something I can kind of work to as well. There is a hunger in me. I love Survivor and I know how this game works, and I've watched so many episodes and I want to play it my way. I'm also like, as much as I want to win Survivor, I want to play the game and have fun playing the game. I'm not here to play survival or have fun laying around a beach. I want to actually play this game and get to the end. I think creative gameplay is going to be my trick, being a rebel. I think they won't see that coming. They might see me straight away and be like, oh, he's clearly got some sort of creative burn in his body, but they won't realize that it's controlled chaos. And I think bringing that to Survivor is going to be completely unexpected.
There we go. That is going to be Scott. What do you boys think on Scott here as I bring back the tier list for us? I'll go with Mucky first. Thoughts?
I really like him. He kind of seems like the golden retriever of the cast, someone who everyone's going to really love, which makes me think that he's going really deep in the game. I think he's either the kind of one of the fallen angels or he's a runner-up.
Right.
Those are my two predictions for Scott.
Ooh. Runner-up or fallen angels. Interesting big call there, Kahuna. I'll jump in next with my thoughts here before you go.
Please.
I'm always the last one, I guess, off the last cap of the rank, because I'm always moving things in the background as we start talking about them. But I think definitely post-merge. At first, when I heard him talk, I was uncertain if he's very soft-spoken, right? So I'm like, is he going to be someone that can drive the strategy? Is he someone that is going to be assertive enough to be able to get people on his side to move things in a certain direction? But I also get like a little bit of, and we're going back to Borneo Survivor, Greg Buis. vibes from him. Bit of a free spirit. Greg was someone who made the merge that season, was seen as a bit of a leader, even though he didn't push for it. Scott's someone that seems very confident in himself. He's got the strategy down pat. He's someone who doesn't want to sit back and play a game like some other super fans have done in the past where they get to the end, but they haven't made moves. So at least I think, and I think for that reason alone, he probably wouldn't be a runner-up because he probably, like you said, he would not want to sit there and just survive. He would want to make moves. So as long as he makes moves along the way, he won't be a Maddie season who's a big fan but never pulled the trigger, which means that he doesn't get the votes in the end of the game. So for me, I do see upside on him, and we don't have a Rebel in the post-merge yet. I kind of lean with Mucky, which will put him in post-merge in any case, but thoughts on Scott, and is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Kuna?
I was going to put him in post-merge as well. I don't know if I was in the mood when I was taking these very brief notes, but I also wrote weirdo for this guy too. I wrote
Really?
art,
You brutal.
art hippie. I wrote art hippie weirdo, strategy and affair. So I think he's actually got really good coverage, like by coming across as a hippie, as a bit of a weirdo, artistic, creative type, but unless he gives it away, being a huge strategy fan, role play gamer, the fact that he did name Haley as his favorite, as his favorite survivor, is all big pluses to me. I think the fine line that he's going to walk is, so I mentioned before that Raymond is a bit of a retail I'm using that word, but and I feel like a retail guy is a lot more relatable to your average bloke than the art director of MoMA, or he might be a little bit too far from the common man, and that's going to be his struggle. Like, can he be relatable? He might pull a lot of the women together, but he needs to be able to, as much as we hate it in Australian Survivor, mateship is a big part of the game, and you need to be able to not rely on it, but be able to ride that mateship wave when you need to. And I think that could be one of his downsides. But if he can do that well and play off the quirky, creative art guy with a little bit of cunning strategy underneath, I think he's got a lot of potential. Actually, I'm putting him post-merge for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Marcus here says, I really like that he said Haley is his favorite player. Palava Girl says, yeah, Kiwi Skirt, he sounds like a fun, easygoing person. May actually be, so I like this guy, he's interesting. Same, yeah. Kahuna keeps saying weirdo. I feel like quirky is the better word here, Kahuna. Like, he's just quirky.
I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's not a...
Yeah.
The word's not bad in and of itself. It means that he's a weird.
Depends, like some different. Oh, did he?
He used the word. Yeah, he said I'm a weird thinker or something like that.
Okay.
People that are a little bit different. I don't mind that at all. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Dances to the drum of his own beat. But yeah, I like him. I think he's going to do well. I don't know if I like him more than Viola at this stage, so I'll probably keep him below that. Are you boys in agreement with that one? Also, just before we move on to the next video, I just wanted to say hello to Feras, who's on this season, who's jumped on the Instagram live. He's part of the Rebels team this season. Welcome to the live as well. So if the live cuts off on Instagram, I've said it before, we can only do an hour before it cuts off on Instagram. Jump on the YouTube channel. It's the Nullified Take on YouTube. That would be the one to jump on. It's right there. If you wanted to look at what the spelling looks like on the right-hand side at the bottom, it'd be great to have you in on the YouTube as well. I know you can't comment, obviously, but great for you to watch through all of this. And we promise we will not let it influence us when we get to your video and when we look at your video in the near future. But let's go to Valeria, who's in the Titans tribe on this next one. And I'll just have a quick look and see if I can get the video for Valeria, and then I will share. Right, here we go.
Being a model, sometimes I play dumb. It hasn't stopped pissing down rain. It destroyed my super cute look for today. So you're thinking this damn bimbo definitely not gonna go for long. I'm here. It works perfect for me because the sleeping bear is inside of me ready to fight.
Is that the whole video for her? Can't be, right?
Yeah, there should be a
Yeah.
2-minute one.
Right. I was just going to say that doesn't feel like it should. Yep, this one probably.
My name is Valeria. I'm 31 years of age. I'm based in Cronulla, New South Wales, and I'm a model, and I run my dance entertainment company. I might be a pretty face, but I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had to fight for everything I have in my life now. I came to Australia in 2009. I was only 17 when I moved, so never really worked a day back in Russia. I came with nothing. I didn't know anyone. I didn't speak a word of English, and everything that I have today, I had to fight for it. Growing up, there was not much opportunities. I'm coming from a very humble, poor background. I definitely feel like Survivor is a reflection of how I've been growing up. I've started my dance company from zero, and now we are one of the most busiest entertainment agencies in Australia. When it comes to modeling, I have done it all. I've been on the covers of Australian and international magazines like Grazia, Glamour, L'Officiel, Maxim magazine, and I've got a few beauty pageant titles under my belt representing both countries, Russia and Australia. I definitely know how to win a crown, and I'll be using that power to become the Queen of Hearts. I definitely feel like I'm getting a lot of misconceptions based on being a girl, being blonde, I don't know, coming from Russia, you know. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of play with my character before you get to know me. There is no high expectations that, you know, people have from me. I don't have to prove you if I'm good enough for you. I'm here to play my game. And if someone is blindsided by thinking I'm just only worried about her hair and makeup to be done, well, let's be it, you know. We can definitely play with that person for longer. I am a Titan because I'm a go-getter. If I have something in front of me, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna grab it. I believe I can win Survivor because the qualities and things that I have to go through my life taught me to survive. I think I know this game. Everything that I went through taught me to survive in the conditions that we're gonna be going through. So I believe that should be enough for me to get the title of Sole Survivor and a $500,000 prize.
All right, there we go. Valeria.
Valeria.
Valeria. Let's go to Mucky first on this one. Mucky, I know you're dying to talk about Valeria because you probably have a lot of things to say. I feel like it's someone that you'll really support coming into this season. Am I right? Am I getting the right vibes from you? She doesn't believe in conspiracy theories, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot that you will support here.
Yeah. She's no Ikensu, all right? Yeah, I just want to put that at the forefront. She's no Ikensu. But yeah, I really like her. I do think there's a lot of upside to her. But yeah, a lot of Liz vibes. I think that I think that there's definitely a strong chance that she could go pretty deep this season. I was just gonna bring that up. I love the fluffy coat. I love the outfit choices. But unfortunately, due to because how I sort of make my what's it called? Like my elimination rankings, right? Is that I sort of try and base it off previous seasons and where I think different sort of characters would tend to go out. And unfortunately, I did put a mid pre-merge.
We've got two more players here in the live. We've got Mark Warnock here saying, "Don't let Feras send you astray," and then Charles backing him up saying, "That's right, don't trust Feras." Games have started. The game's afoot. Like a very famous Survivor player once said over in the US in Survivor One World. Great to have both of you on the live as well. I don't think Feras have said anything as of yet, but looking at that, I do agree with you. I feel like she's Brick. She will be the fan favorite that Twitter will like.
Yeah.
Liz vibes, but probably ended up like Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah,
yeah.
Sarah Teleki.
No, Sarah
Or-
from Heroes versus Villains, I reckon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like
I might put someone down the stairs.
I like yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do like Valeria. The one problem for me that I see, and I could be completely wrong on this. Obviously, she kind of called us out before we even made the choice here, and she said people judge me based on my Russian accent and being blonde and all these kind of things. And here we are, 3 guys judging her already before she's even started the game. But we're still going to do it, Valeria. I feel like she's going to be too stubborn and hard-headed to work with for some people in the game. Like, I feel like that could be the make or break. Now, the question is, will they keep her for her strength? Because she seems fierce. She seems athletic. Like, she will bring a lot to the game. But I would be worried about, like, will she be somebody, Kahuna, that people can work with? So for me personally, I'm going to take a wild stab here, and I'm going to agree with whoever said she would be like Sarah last season, and she's probably a late pre-merge boot, in my opinion. That's kind of where I've got her at the moment. So I'm putting it out there. Maki hasn't really told us where he sees her yet. So Kahuna, maybe give your thoughts first, Kahuna, so you don't have the pressure of knowing if she's pre-merge in Maki's mind or not.
I did smile. Someone called me out actually, that I was smiling a lot more during that video.
She's a beautiful girl, obviously, but you can't deny that.
I just love that when she said, people because of my accent, she hit the Russian like way harder, like the Russian accent. And in my head, I was just like, I wonder if the producers were like, Liz wasn't Russian enough. We need
to up it.
The Russian up. we need Liz again. She's the champion. We're just rushing it up even a little bit more.
Did they stitch her up? She's a blonde Russian playing the game after I don't think Liz was quite young as well when she moved over. They kind of have the same background
as well, though.
Yeah, I felt like Liz was more Aussie.
Yeah, she grew up here, and also I mean, as much as you go, there's the comparison. Valeria, as far as I know from the dance studio, is not an Olympic athlete, so that's working against her as well. As athletic as she may be, Liz was like a bit of a beast and held her own. Early we saw that with Liz, so she doesn't have that working for her. I do think you're right, maybe a little bit headstrong, that Russian fiery attitude for someone who has had a lot of success in life very early and gotten her way in a lot of the way, the way she wants. Working with, people is a difficult thing. So we'll see. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I put her in pre-merge as well.
Pre-merge. Okay. So it doesn't really matter what Maki thinks she's going to be pre-merge, but Maki, for the record.
I thought she was pre-merge. Like, sort of like a late pre-merger.
Late pre-merge?
Sort of where Sarah went out on Heroes versus Villains. Like, that's kind of where I reckon she should end up. Like in the
so
Maki wants to separate tier just for his heart. Just puts that one finger straight to the heart.
She doesn't believe in conspiracy theories, so it's not quite Maki's type. I don't think he's ready to turn his back on Ekansu as of yet. But the next person here that we're going to be looking into is Tobias. So let me find the video for Tobias on the next one, and then we can go from there. In fact, I will get you guys to actually help me, just in case I don't spot the right video. Okay, so Tobias.
I love that South African pronunciation.
And South African would actually be Tobias.
Oh, Tobias. It's Tobias, mate. Tobias.
Yeah. Well, you asked me for the South Africans. I was like, I'm going to give you the South African pronunciation for it.
No, the Aussie will be Tobias.
Oh, it's a Tobias.
Yeah,
right.
Tobias.
Why am I missing it? Yeah, there we go.
My name's Tobias from Byron Bay, 41. I'm a builder, and I usually get what I want. I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm good at solving problems. I think I'm not bad looking. Super confident also, as you can tell. I'm a builder by day, by morning actually. Usually only 3 or 4 hours. Don't tell the boys that. and then I usually bail out and I'll do some sort of crazy adventure. The last year it's been skydiving. I've knocked out a few hundred jumps in a year, which is a lot. Or if I'm not doing that, I'm generally doing something else that's probably a little bit silly. I'm currently building a race car at the moment. I ride motorbikes. Pretty much do anything that gives me an adrenaline rush. I'm used to going 100 miles an hour all the time. Yeah, people think I'm a threat. They'd see me in there to see this guy that's like super confident, super outgoing, covered in tattoos, and then just like instantly they think I'm, for lack of a better term, a wanker. People get taken back a little bit by actually that I'm not how I seem. But underneath that, I still am a threat because I'm fit, I'm cunning, I'm kind of ruthless. I can be manipulative if I need to, if I want something. Try not to be, but sometimes you just need to. I'm definitely the rebel. I'm definitely one that goes against the grain. I've bent and broken rules my whole life. Probably lucky I haven't gotten more trouble than I have. Good at talking my way out of trouble too. Yeah, I've always been one that like, I'll bend those rules till they start to snap, and then that's when I'll just stop. I don't really think about my weaknesses too often. I only get stressed about a couple of certain things, like usually like money, women, and somewhere to sleep. I'll be able to make shelter here. Money doesn't worry me, and I'm not going to fall in love, so I should be fine.
Famous last words. I don't know if he's noticed the cast he's playing with, but he may fall in love when he's out there. Which a lot of players have said before that they're not going to fall in love. I don't know. I heard there were some boring Titans talking about me. Let's go for us. Let's go. So basically, looking at him is going to be interesting because for me personally, like, let me just put the share screen on here for what we're doing with the tier list. If you look at who's in that team, like, he is one of the more physical guys. So based on that alone, I would think he's going to make it to the merge. Personally, I think he's a post-merger. Just based on who's there, I know he's like a couple of things here potentially for him. Very confident. Confidence isn't always the best thing when you go into a season. If you rate yourself that high, maybe he does fall in love and that messes up his game out there, specifically because he said he's not going there for anything like that. So women won't be an issue for him out there. So it's going to be interesting where he ends up playing in this game. But I like the bit of rebel energy. I can see why he was placed in the rebel. But for me personally, looking at the cast, I think he's got a chance of being one of those guys that get to the merge. I don't think he's winning the season by no means, but I do see him potentially being that merge boot potentially if he does play the game. Kahuna, thoughts?
Can you imagine him in the final tribal?
That would be
I'm the freaking best. I'm here. Of course I'm here. I'm awesome. Why would I not be here? Anyone who thought I wasn't going to be here, just kickbox them. This guy's a wank, man. Like, he said it, and I was like, yes, I 100% agree that he's a wank. I don't like him, but because he's strong, he's probably going to get to the merge, and then immediately get thrown out because everybody hates him. The only way.
The funniest thing for me with him was when he's like, the boys think I'm working, but I'm only putting in like 2 hours or 4 hours at work and then I shoot off. It's such a rebel thing to do.
Yeah, like he's so cool, bro. Like, nothing says rebel like saying that you're a rebel. I'm such a rebel, man. Like, yeah, okay, bud.
Shots fired.
Rebels always say it.
Shots fired. Okay, well, Mucky, what's your thoughts? I guess he's already going to make it on our list to post-merge because both of us, I've dragged Kahuna kicking and screaming to agreeing with me on this one. But
actually, I think I might be able to convince Kahuna to change his vote, similar to how Benji convinced Sean not to play the idol on Matt Rogers. But I think, look, it's quite funny because when I first saw him, I was like, he kind of looks like Maverick. From one of the best film franchises, Top Gun. I was like, he's got a motorbike, he flies planes and stuff. You're just like, skydiving. He seems like a maverick. And then the second he started talking, I was
volleyball.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, nah, he's no Maverick, and so I think like I can see in the chat, there's a lot of like Zach comparisons. I don't think he's exactly on Zach's level the first time he played, but I can see him going out in a similar way because the original Contenders tribe was quite a physically weak tribe as well, but Zach just got too heavy to carry. So even though they're losing so many challenges anyways, might as well just get rid of him. And I can see something very similar happening to this guy, where just at a certain point, even if the Rebels are losing a lot, it's sort of like, are we willing to, even though we're losing, are we willing to really keep this guy around? Which hopefully he's not like a Zach. Hopefully he is more like the top G Maverick. But yeah, anyways, that's my pitch to you, Kahuna. If
did that make any sense to you, Kahuna? Are you willing to see where?
We can outvote Chris here, Kahuna.
To put him in pre-merge.
Yeah,
I said probably merge, so it's not like you're gonna stab me in the heart here, Mucky. It's not like you're gonna get.
I think they could.
It's more about being right here, Chris.
I'd love for this dude to be first boot. To be honest with you, that would be like the best. But it's not going to happen. They need his strength in that tribe. So I do see him going there. Unfortunately, Mucky.
Oh,
watch him be one of the most lovable characters, and Kahuna completely doing a 180 on him as soon as he hits the show. And the video, this 2-minute video, Kahuna is coming out fighting, after this 2-minute video, and
I'll do it if that's what happens. Hopefully, we'll see. But I'm gonna make a prediction. Mr. Cliche over there, in every single possible way, is not gonna change me.
Yeah. I bet you the producers like Tobias tell us how great you are. Tobias, can you drive your bike and wear this leather jacket? They're probably egging him on a bit as well. But anyways, let's go into the next one in the essence of time here, and look at someone that I did have a look at last night, actually, because I had 3 people that I watched prior to saying I'm not going to be able to get through the whole cast, and now we're doing it live instead. And this person I thought was a lot of fun. So let's look at this video again. It's Jaden from the Titans tribe.
What's the the survivor logo? It says something under outlast, outlive. Nah, it's 3-0. I can't remember what the 3 O's are, lad. Outwit, outplay, and outlast. If you can do all of those 3 things, you're the number 1 survivor, and that's what I want to try and do. That's my plan. I want to get that tattooed on my chest. My name is Jaden Lang. I'm 27 years old. I was born and raised in Southwest Sydney, Campbelltown, and I work as a security guard, and I also compete in strongman. I feel like when people see me for the first time, they judge a book by its cover. Maybe think I'm a bit of a tough, tatted up dude, but yeah, not really the case. I like having a laugh. I like mucking around. I'm pretty happy. I am happy all the time. I love my life. I'm blessed. My dad's Samoan Fijian. My mom's Chilean. I was born and raised in Southwest Sydney. I grew up wanting the rugby dream, wanted to play footy and stuff like that. I played footy all the way until last year. I played for multiple teams in America. Then I played in South America, and now I'm competing in strongman. It's like a circus act almost, eh? We're lifting like crazy amounts of weights in the most awkward and different ways. So we lift stones up to our shoulder, we lift cars, we lift logs. Yeah, it's pretty out there, pretty different. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid of getting what I want and doing what I have to do in order to get it. So I feel like there's absolutely nothing this game is going to throw at me that I haven't already done or haven't already experienced in life. I've climbed mountains in torrential rain. I've climbed mountains overseas. I've carried cars. I've pulled cars. I've lifted logs. I've even carried a boat. Like, I've done it all, man. I've played team sports my whole life. I played rugby my whole life. Every time I put on my rugby boots, I go out there ready to put my body on the line for the man next to me. And that's exactly what I plan to do out of this game as well. The whole point of a team is sharing a common goal together and reaching that common goal together and wanting to reach that common goal. And that's what I plan to do with my tribe.
There we go. That's Jaden. He's done it all. He's carried it all, Mucky, but can he carry this season on his back? this season. Do you think he's the guy?
Well, I mean, I hate to break, but I can also, like carry massive balls and carry and carry massive logs. I can carry my whole store. I can carry my whole department on my back. All right. So no, but something really.
You get
cool
what
about-
on your back?
I can carry my whole store, my job on my back. That's just how strong I am. Now, something really cool about Jaden is that it was quite funny because when the official Survivor page had posted like cast pictures and their like occupation, like his was just strong man. I was like, like his only job is that he's strong. And I showed him to some of my friends at work. They're like, "Oh my gosh, he's playing!" And he's apparently quite like a big TikToker and stuff like that. And a lot of people in my work are going to watch this season.
Yeah, he just didn't want to flex.
I
He's the opposite of Tobias. He doesn't want to flex.
Yeah, exactly. So he seems like and from some of the TikToks I've seen, he seems like a really nice, genuine, down-to-earth guy.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I feel like he's not going to come in that strategy heavy. And the player that I think like he could somewhat replicate, even though I think they're completely two different people and they would not be the same at all, but just sort of the sort of gameplay style where he might end up is Paige from last season, or like Danny, someone who sort of goes out like right at the swap. I think if the Red Bulls are down in numbers, they might want to take out someone like a Jaden who could be like the glue that's holding everyone together, because he is just like really likable. So yeah, he's massive on TikTok, and so like I'm gonna say pre-merge, which I hope he ends up going much further, because like he is such a cool dude. But just from how I think the game could potentially go, I'm gonna say like he makes a swap, but he's the one that holds everyone together. And once he's gone, that's when the Titans start to fall apart. So
kind of like a Danny or Big D.
Big D,
Big D would probably be the more appropriate one. Firstly, Chardude, thank you so much for coming in with the $5 Australian, saying Jaden is going to just be kept for a number, not as gameplay, and props will play like a Gerald this season as well. I feel like, I like Gerald. He's been on the podcast before. He's a friend of the channel. But I feel like, we've got a Gerald comparison. We've got a Croc comparison here. I think he's going to be way more entertaining than any of those two. I think he will carry the entertainment factor for the first part of the season. Now, if he's got strategy, if he can show strategy with that, then he is that unique unicorn like a Luke Toki or like a Tony Vlachos, because he's got the ability to be the showman that those two players have been. But is he the complete package? I don't know. But, if there's one person you want to hurt me on, it would be Jaden. So I'll give you guys a freebie here, because I will put him post-merge. I really like Jaden. I feel like Jaden is probably the person so far from all the videos that I've seen that I like the most. But if he I would also be happy with being right and him being the post-merge and being the only one that called that out. So in some ways, I kind of don't mind it if you guys both go against the grain here, because I think that his social skills alone will make him someone that people will keep around. He's going to be likable. Like if you're out there and you're dealing with complex personalities, you probably want some people that you can just get along with and that are not energy drainers every single day out on the island as well. Kahuna, what's your thoughts on Jaden? Would you put him post or pre-merge?
I would definitely put him post. When we were originally coming up to approach this as a draft, I was going to pick Jaden number 1 overall, regardless of whether I think he's going to win or not, just because I love this man so much. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but he mentioned that he's from Campbelltown. He's actually my hometown boy. Like, he's my neighbor.
We go.
We had like someone actually, Danny mentioned in the comments, is Jaden my cousin? We are from the same area. Like, I love this man. He's super big on TikToks. He looks like he should be rapping in 1/4 as a so he's the best. He seems fun. I knew about him on TikTok before I knew that he was going to be in Survivor, and I wasn't sure if I was like, oh, is he really that big, or is it because I'm in the Survivor pseudo algorithm where he came up in my feed, or he's just genuinely that big of an influencer? And it turns out that he's pretty big. So, and he's fun, man. Like anyone that talks with that accent and says lad in their first like Survivor interview, It's the best.
King Jaden of
Jaden
Campbelltown,
represent.
even already calling for
2560, yeah.
already calling for a Jaden versus George showdown. Jaden hasn't even played the game twice, but I mean, he doesn't need the experience to go up against George, is what Tom is thinking at this stage. Did Kahuna say Campbelltown? No, it's at Campbelltown. So that's a fun hometown. All right. In the essence of time, we're going to move on to someone here that is from we just did one of the Titans. So let's do a Rebel on this next one, and let's go to Kirby for this next one. Let me just get the screen up. So Kirby for the next one.
My name's Kirby Bentley. I live in Melbourne. I was born in Perth, and I'm an AFL assistant coach, AFLW. My spirit identifies as 29. My birth certificate identifies as 37, and my body is 87, so I'm mixed. I started playing netball at a young age for the state, for WA, for 10 solid years, 6 days a week, and then I started playing AFL. So the tackling, everything to do with footy, started to take its toll. So that's probably why I feel so old physically. Not my spirit though. I'm a kid at heart. As an athlete and as an Aboriginal person, creating change using our sport as a platform has been huge for that. I've been able to get into coaching, to do mentoring. Sport has just allowed me that platform to reach further than what it is that I've been able to see. So I think I'm pretty lucky. I don't take life too seriously, and I see it as it is what it is, and every experience is meant for you. As an AFLW coach, I'm big on connections. I might not know a lot about Survivor like the other players, but I know people and I know how to connect people. I've got to be able to use that to be able to build those relationships. I think being an elite ex-athlete, you've got this kind of resilience and the ability to push through pain and anything physical, but that mental side of things as well. If I am the only contestant that has that background, it's a huge advantage. I'm ultra competitive. I'm a kid at heart and I'm cheeky by nature, but I'm not here just to play around. I'm here to win.
There we have it, Kirby, for this next one. Kahuna, let's start with you. What's your thoughts on Kirby?
I get really cautious, and when you've given however much in a one-on-one interview, and the 2-minute package, they very specifically choose to promote that you don't know how to play Survivor and don't know as much as other players. When they specifically point that out, I feel like they're almost like trying to excuse some upcoming gameplay or something. I don't know, like, you know, like we have to have a reason why she's not going to do well or something. That's just the vibe I get. I could be completely off, but I hate when people say, look, I don't know anything about Survivor. It just, it hits me the wrong way, because I'm the type of obsessive compulsive thought person where even if I didn't know anything about Survivor, as soon as you say you're going to be on Survivor, I will know everything about Survivor within the next 5 days. So like, it's to go on it in that regard, I feel like you know,
who's the last person who did extremely well that didn't know anything about Survivor coming in? Would it have been Chrissy from Blood vs. Water? She went all the way towards the end, like final 5 or something like that, final 6 maybe. Oh no, she was in the end. She was right at the end. She was in the and she didn't know anything coming in. Then you also had George's alliance member Cara as well. I don't think was a fan of the show, so she kind of falls in that mold almost.
But she wasn't doing much herself. Like, you know, you kind of get taken along for the ride, right?
Yeah,
and she
so
may be able to do that. She may be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not detrimental to being able to play the game, not knowing it. But the thing that, like, I'm kind of leaning towards pre-merge as well, based on the fact that she said her body is like an 87-year-old. You don't want to hear that coming into a game like this when you're going to be going up against Titans. Like, is she going to be able to keep up with the pace? Like, she seems like a great person, like someone you'd want to hang around with, but can she bring it in the challenges? And we know that Australian Survivor is heavily focused on challenge strength. They don't do much puzzles in Australian Survivor. So where's her, what is the sort of unique selling point? You know, the USP for her coming into this season, Mucky. Can you talk us out of putting her in pre-merge? Because it sounds like both myself and Kuna are leaning that way.
I also agree that she's pre-merge. My initial thoughts was that she could be like an Abby potentially, but then once you see that, you know, she doesn't know much about the game, and then she talked about how her body's like, you know, not as strong as it used to be. I also went pre-merge. I can see an argument to put her under first boot, and the only reason why I put that is because this season has got a lot more fans of the show out there, right? And quite famously with Australian Survivor, as Mad Dog Gabe has brought up, we've still got some recruits, but there's the least amounts in season 2. I think there's a chance fans could recognize that and potentially target, you know, players like a Kirby who could be seen as a recruit, if that makes sense. So I could see that as a case to put it in first boot.
Okay, I like it. You threw a curveball in there. I didn't consider first boot. I'm with you. I think it's a possibility.
Really?
I think we leave it. I think we leave it there for now. I think we leave it there for now. And we can argue if we see someone else, and because we haven't had someone nominated yet, we can argue if we see someone else come up for the Rebels that we think would be more appropriate. So we can still boost that out of it. But I kind of see it. Just for the sake of having someone as a potential first boot, I'm happy to put Kirby in there. We're going to go to the next one. I don't know if our man Feras is still in the chat, but we're going to do Feras from the Rebels tribe next. So, boys, here we go. Now we can see if peer pressure.
Mucky convinced Chris it's a miracle. It is. Kahuna, you're meant to be my guy who outdoes Chris, not the other way around.
It doesn't happen very often. I'm being very lenient. The tides have turned. I'm being very lenient on this one. All right, let's have a look at the next person, which is going to be Feras. And go there.
My name is Feras Basal, and I'm from Western Sydney. I'm very loud, very out there, energetic, very outspoken. I can be very unfiltered. I can be mistaken for being not the smartest person in the room just from how I look. That's the complete opposite. I've got a degree in business and commerce, majoring in industrial relations and human resources. I was also a mathematics teacher, a high school maths teacher as well. So I've got my master's in teaching. I know what I'm talking about. I know how to articulate, you know, what I'm feeling. I know how to communicate. I know how to read people. I'm a very big strategist. I'm in HR. I work for a company that specializes in aged care and disability. It's a bit of a passion of mine to sort of be in that sector. My main role is to pretty much get as many people jobs as possible to work in this sector. I'm definitely a physical threat, but people should be more worried about my social game than my physical game, 100%. I think that's what I like the most about myself being on Survivor, because when people see me, they're just going to see a physical threat and nothing else. And I want them to see that. I want them to see that I'm just this, you know, dumb, big Arab from Western Sydney. I want them to think that I'm that, which I'm definitely not. So, yeah, that'll be fun. I don't care what people think. Again, I'm not afraid to step on people's toes. I want to be Soul Survivor because I feel like it's always the same type of person that wins and it's getting a bit boring. They need someone different. Coming from a Middle Eastern background, we were raised to be tough, to get some dirt under your fingernails, to not let anything get to you and to be rock solid, to have an intense work ethic, to, you know, not let any person's opinion bring you down. It's what I grew up with. It's what I've lived throughout my whole life, and, you know, nothing's going to change on this island. Showing this 7-year-old Feras watching TV that it's possible. I want to be that minority that takes over the majority. Yeah.
There we have it. It's Feras. Thoughts, Kuna? We'll start with you. It's a Sydney boy. So again, someone representing from New South Wales here on the show.
Winner pick.
Winnipeg? Is that
Winnipeg.
straight to Winnipeg? Okay, let us know why.
Soul Survivor right there, man. Did you
That's
see
the
that edit that he got?
He got a
Yeah.
massive edit. Yeah, I do think
huge.
I do think Soul Survivor as well. So we're going to put him there.
I think Soul Survivor too.
Oh,
Yeah. Yo, look at us
Wow.
go! Look at us go!
Consensus.
3 of us together, and let's just put it out there. Nothing to do with the fact that we've got him in the live here. I just, or he was in the live previously. I like the way that he portrays himself, the way he articulates himself. Like, yes, it could be seen as like, some people may say, well, he's kind of full of it. Like he's thinking he's all that, but he's not. That's not the way he's coming across. The way he's talking about his own abilities, like having this business degree, math, working in HR, having to recruit people, being, someone that can physically show up and people will see that and they'll think he's kind of dumb. They'll perceive him as dumb, but he's actually quite smart. To me, all of it, the way he's portraying it comes across as like he's got this inner confidence. Like it's not like he's like bragging about it. It's just, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be coming into the show. Plus, he looks to have that rare combination of being potentially a big player that will make moves, that will have the social side, and also, will have the physical and strategic side, which you need to win the game. Like very rarely do you get someone, unless you have King George in your alliance to help you get to the end and make up for shortcomings. Very rarely do you get to the end of the game without having all of that or combination of it, at least. So I really like for us. I think, and again, if we see someone else, just for everybody in the live, if we see someone else within the next couple of people that are still left that we think are a better fit for that Soul Survivor spot, we can still kick him out. But I'm with you on that as well, Kuna. Kuna, do you have anything you wanted to add based on what I've observed?
Yeah, he seems to have a lot of like positive energy about him, but seems to be able to back it up. He's got everything going for him without it coming as over the top. Like we mentioned, Nathan seems to have all the tools on paper, but it's packaged in a look that is more difficult to swallow. The good looking white guy that probably gets everything he wants in life versus the hardworking, the guy who said, I come across as the big dumb Arab. Like I would love, like I say this with complete love for the people that I grew up with and my mates and all that. I would love for someone in tribal council to be like, oh, I swear to God, bro, I really deserve this. Like just that Western Sydney. Like I want to hear that representation on my TV, bro. It's so good, like, bro. Like, yeah, that I can't wait for that. I love Feras immediately.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Mucky, anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I've got a lot of really close Arabic friends, and Feras seems like one of the boys similar to my friends, and I've even reached out to him, and he's been very responsive back as well. And yeah, from the second,
don't get him in trouble.
Like from like his first, because he did have a short promo, and it seemed like he was going to be quite like a villainous, big strategic player of the season. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what he brings. And just from that promo alone,
are we going to have her? Are we going to? If you look at, and again, this is my ignorance of not really knowing. I guess there's kings in the Middle East as well. I was going to say, is he going to be our first emperor? Like we've had a king, King George. Can he be emperor for us? Like is that a potential? Like we have like a different, because I'm getting tired of queen and kings the whole time. Like I'm king this, queen that. Like it kind of loses its meaning for me a little bit. But yeah, like him, I think he could be really, really good. Brendan saying everyone thought George won due to his edit. I don't think Feras wins. Maybe he'll break George's confessional record though. Deep run into merge, but his threat level will be his undoing. Khan means king. Yep. You see that. Okay, I'm going to move on. So like I said, if somebody else comes up that stands out more for us, then we will replace Feras with someone else that is still in that tribe. But we're going to move on to Frankie from the Titans next year. So let's get Frankie up on the screen.
My name's Frankie. I'm 33. I own a salon in Bondi.
I live in a very routine life, very much work, gym, home, in this nice little circle like this.
So I think this is very out of my realm, but you know what? I wanted to do it. And if I want to do something, I will. I love my job. Like I actually love my job. And I think there's not a lot of people who can say that. I feel like my job
relate to Survivor because I am the first to find out things. I have all the gossip, so I feel like this will be a huge advantage for me in the game. I want people to tell me all their secrets. Hey, I might use them against you, but I still need to know them. So my idea of camping was taking myself in a nice bougie van up the East Coast and settling in Noosa. So this is going to be so outside the realm of what I'm used to. I hate creepy crawlies, especially on my face or body or within my vicinity. Being around anything that's, you know, wriggling in the night, that's going to be quite hard for me. I think that people will underestimate my intelligence. So I may not be the most academic person out there. I may not have had the best education, and I love educating myself, and I think people will really underestimate that. I'm quite an outspoken person, so my biggest challenge in this will be to shut up. So if I learn how to do that, I can win this game. There's nothing worse than being annoying in this game. You're the most annoying person, you're first to go.
We have it, Frankie. So we'll start with Kahuna on this one. Kahuna, thoughts on Frankie?
Frankie, the Jack salon owner. I like that. Like, obviously, owning a salon in Bondi is very bougie, and like that, like immediately that's successful. Like, to be able to do what she's done is a pretty big deal. And as I said, like I said, she's a Jack salon owner. She looks like she's very physically fit. I'm predicting actually that this season will be much in the tradition of Australian Survivor, a lot of physical stuff. Because if you look at Viola, her, Kirby, there's like, even on the women's side, there's some very powerful, strong people. I'm wondering if that's going to be a focus of the season. But I don't know if that means that she's going to go far or not. I think she's obviously very physically capable, but when that's not a standout in a season like this, I'm going to put her at pre-merge. I don't really know why or what to go off of, and I'm really sorry to Char Dude because he's got the connection there apparently.
Frankie for the wins, as she is my sister's best friend, and I love her. Wow, that close. Right? I know she was telling me all the goes on the island. Okay, well, we don't want to know like any of the goes. We don't want to know any of the spoilers here, but that's awesome that someone so close to you actually got onto the show. Okay, so Mucky.
Yeah, I don't know why pre-merge is the vibes.
Yeah, it's
Are you that low? Are you that low on her?
Yeah, I was just searching through my notes again to see where I put Frankie, and I also put a pre-merge simply because I just did not know where else to put it. When I was filling out my preseason bootless rankings, she was the last person that I added on, and it was just a random spot in pre-merge because I just had no idea where to put Frankie, and that's just simply that. That's why I think just going pre-merge because I don't really see her, and like I mean I'm not sure where to put her if I'm just being perfectly honest. Like she could be pre-merge or post-merge, and
I mean, listen, I think for me it's hard because there are certain people that they give this big edit to, and then the rest of them can sort of fall away a little bit, you know, and that's just based on how they normally do these edits on the show for Australian Survivor, and that makes it hard to place someone. But you know, being a salon owner, being someone that is used to talking to people on the day to day, like she said, all the goss comes to her. Being a salon owner is kind of like being a bartender, and I feel like bartenders have done well in the show in the past. You know,
clientele though is very specific. Bondi hair salon is like, when you say like she gets all the goss, it's from a specific type of Sydney cider that goss comes. She's not dealing with Jaden's and Feras a lot.
Right.
Jaden doesn't go to her salon. Yeah,
but they're not in the same tribe. Like, you know, he's in a different tribe, at least in the beginning of the game. But yeah, it's interesting. We'll put it there regardless because both of you have already got on pre-merge. But yeah, like hopefully, you know, she does do a bit better than that. Tom is a bartender, so he gets what I'm talking about. Like they do talk to a lot of people. I think bartenders probably get a bigger range of people, and they also see people at their potential worst, and they have to deal with annoying people when they're drunk. So probably even more of a leg up compared to someone that is in the salon business, you know. So,
Well,
yeah, in the essence of moving it on and going on to the next one, I'm going to bring up Mark for this next one so we can have a look at Mark's video as well. So let's get into that one.
My name is Mark. I'm 35 years old. I'm a former diplomat and I'm from Townsville, North Queensland. Diplomacy is absolutely about working behind the scenes, having quiet conversations, influencing others, trying to achieve an outcome for Australia and our region. And that is exactly the skill set and the tools that I'll be using on Survivor. This is a big dream of mine to play Survivor, and I think it's the greatest challenge on earth, and I'm ready to get stuck in. I think I'm perfect to play Survivor because as a former diplomat, it's been my job for almost over a decade to build relationships with other people. And I think that Survivor is all about people, strategy, and influence. And that's essentially what I've done for the last decade. So I think I'm going to be good at it. I think people may look at me and see a normal dude, a 35-year-old from Townsville. What they won't see coming is the fact that I've got 10 years of experience representing Australia on the international stage. I've got some weapons in my closet and they won't see them coming when I pull them out. My strengths are definitely my natural personality, my confidence, my ability to build relationships with other people. I'm also not too shabby at swimming and doing challenges. I can hold my own, but I think my best strengths are my interpersonal skills and my confidence to pull off moves when I see an opportunity to strike. I'm happy to be the maestro of the tribe, for sure. I just don't want them to know that I'm the one waving the wand. I'm a tough little nugget. For my work, I've been working with the military in remote environments. I've been posted to Afghanistan. I spent a lot of time in not luxurious accommodation. It may be slightly nicer than this, but I'm looking forward to the challenge of being outdoors. Right now is the right time for me to play Survivor. I've had a great career. I'm ready to hang up that suit jacket and pull on the buff and get dirty.
There we go, Mark. Boys, what do you think? I'll start with you, Mucky, on this one, since I've gone to Kuna quite a few times on these ones. And I may just pop my camera off for a second. I just need to find a charging cable for my headset. But Mucky and Kuna, discuss.
Okay, awesome. Well, I feel really sorry for you, Kahuna, because I tend to talk a lot, so you may need to interrupt me to get in. But I personally quite like Mark. I think like I sort of see him as like the big player that gets taken out around like the final 10, final 9 sort of spot, because that's been like the first like massive blindside where a big player sort of gets taken out. There was originally where I was thinking Feras was going to go. But then after seeing Mark's video, I was like, nah, like I kind of get that vibe from Mark that's where he's sort of going to go. Sort of like a big player who does really well, but once it gets to that sort of spot, like I said, people are starting to turn on him. What's your thoughts on that?
So again, I want to preface this by saying I was medicated when I came out with my notes. And I wrote for Mark, diplomat looks like a penis. And that's all I wrote. But I am what I don't know. Like I think I'm worried that the diplomat, like it makes sense. Like you go an international diplomat experience talking with people, but again, it's talking with a very niche, specific set of people, which are also diplomats that are also doing the same thing, that are also highly trained politicians. And I'm wondering,
and he's not your typical diplomat, though. Like he's a diplomat who's been out in areas that he's mentioned there, where there's been war-torn areas. So it means that he's roughed it out a little bit. Like I feel like if you look at him, and like George was a freak in this game, right? And he's gonna come in with the banner on him of, you know, like he's a diplomat or he's been in politics, so they could make the comparison with him and George and says, well, look at how good George was at this game, we can't have him here. That's a high possibility that could happen. But I actually feel like in some ways he's coming in with more life experience than George had even coming into this game. So I'm very interested to see how he can combine the skill set of having roughed it out, having been to these war-torn areas before. And, you know, I don't think he's that normal diplomat, because I get the angle you're coming from. But for me, he's a definite post-merger. I think he's someone that will go deep in this game. I think he's gonna. Yeah, I'm very
I
impressed.
see pre-merge. I think people
Yeah.
see through it. I think people go,
Yeah.
nah, this guy, like, because diplomats have to be diplomatic. Like they have to toe the line. They know how to be completely and, funnily enough, accurately politically correct and actually toe the line of where, what he can get away. He'll be very strategic, but I'm just wondering if people will see through the falseness or the facade of it. I'm that's my call. I don't know if I'm right there, but I'm saying pre-merge.
Already getting a little bit of Feras's personality.
It's funny
here, saying, I want to
based on what I called him as well.
Probably said it before you mentioned that. Give Feras the benefit of the doubt there. Okay, so you're sort of leaning towards pre. I'm leaning towards post. Mucky, what did you say?
So I see this going post. What I sort of said is that quite often in Australian Survivor, like around the final 10, final 9 spot, that's sort of when like the big sort of strategic players of the season tend to get taken out. And that's sort of spot where I see Mark sort of falling in. I feel like he'll be strategic, he'll have his own realliance, but around that spot, that's sort of when people will start to look at him as the threat and take him out.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so let me set up the next one here for us in the background. We are going to go to Sarah's video for this next one.
I'm Sarah, I'm 24, I'm from Newcastle, and I'm a professional firefighter with Fire and Rescue New South Wales. I don't think I'm someone that flies under the radar. I would describe myself as someone that's super bubbly, outgoing, knows how to make fun of themselves, super kind, but also I kind of have like this switch where I can go from making fun of myself to being in control and super serious and get the job done. Being a firefighter, the skills you need are being able to think on your feet, being able to adapt to situations and think about other people rather than just yourself. And I think that's really important in Survivor, because if you're just thinking about yourself and you're having tunnel vision, there's all this other stuff going on that's going to be critical to whether you're in the game or whether you're out at next tribal. I was super blessed growing up. Like, I have a beautiful family. I've got a mum, a dad, and a sister. I grew up, going to nippers, playing sport, surfing with dad. We'd go camping as a family. Had an amazing childhood. Trusting my gut has always been a super big thing for me. I've always had like this innate feeling that whatever I feel in my gut is right. Like I trust the universe per se. My strategy is just to follow my intuition the whole way, back myself. I'm going to really play on my social game. I'm going to, make connections with people, but as well not get too caught up in those. Make sure that I'm building relationships with everyone and not just singling myself out, a group of 3 or 4. I think I'm a rebel because I've never been one to kind of follow the pack or, do the usual. Being in a job that is male dominated and being a woman in that job is something that gives me so much pride. I really want to play like a moral game, stick to my moral compass. But, at the end of the day, it's $500,000 and I feel like anyone will do anything for $500,000.
Here we go, Sarah, for this next one. And for some other reason, she could be the next firefighter to win. It's been a while since, I think Jeremy may have been the last firefighter that actually won Survivor. And obviously, Tom, also a winner that was a firefighter as well. Could she be, following in the footsteps of both of those firefighters? I'm not too sure. I get a mix of Flick and Daisy, like a combination of both of them. Mucky, what's your thoughts on Sarah?
Well, it was really funny in a video because she talks about being a she talks about being like a firefighter and whatnot, and then she goes, as a rebel, I don't tend to follow like the pack or the pattern. And in my head, I was thinking, like, when there's a big fire, she runs the other way. She doesn't follow Gorgon. No. But I it's hard, right? Because I do see like the Daisy comparison, but with our draft we did last year, Chris, we made a another segment called "Who's going to get the purple edit?" Right? Who's going to get the least amount of screen time? Because Strain Survivor always tends to do that. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be Sarah. I think we're going to see the least amount of Sarah this season, unfortunately, which makes me think that she could be late pre-merge, potentially even late merge as well. I'm kind of 50-50 with it. I personally put it late pre-merge because I just have more spots there.
Yeah, we do have more spots in the pre-merge at this stage, so it is a possibility. But I find her hard to place. Like she could go either way. She could go either way, really, for me. So I think based on that alone, I don't feel strong enough to disagree with you on that. I kind of agree, and I think this was what I was kind of getting at. Gabe saying Sarah's going to try to be in a big alliance in the Rebels, but will struggle with strategy. So she's going to always be the person that's going to have to follow the crowd. That's why I kind of got that Daisy vibes. But does she have upside? Does she have flick up vibes? Like with her intuition and following her instincts in certain situations, because I feel like Flick kind of played that game sometimes as well, but she was also very good socially. So I don't know. It's a tough one, Kahuna. Where do you sit on this one? Like I could be persuaded to go either way, depending on where you sit.
I don't know if it's because I recently watched 11 seasons of Chicago Fire that I feel like firefighters are just really capable. Like the skill set is very transferable to a game like Survivor as far as the physical side goes. And then you put together that she was in little nippers and is very comfortable on the beach, in the water, is going to be a swimmer. Like she's certainly going to be capable and therefore valuable early on. But again, I don't think she's going to be driving strategy. So unless she finds herself with someone that can really drive and she kind of is a number and, kind of the workhorse of the operation along with a few others, she's not going to be driving strategies. So I'm thinking post-merge early, though.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you. I think that they'll need some of that strength. I think she's going to be reliable. So at this stage, and again, we can amend this if we start running out of spots, but I'll put it towards the bottom there of post-merge as well. In fact, I would still probably put Tobias just below her as well if we had to make a decision. Okay, let's have a look at who we can go to next on the list here. And I think we're going to go for a Titan this time. Let's go for Alex on this next one.
My name is Alex. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Perth and I'm a school teacher. I fight Titans every single day. It's called the education system. The process of learning is outdated. I was 17 and I got a phone call from my brother who had said that mum's got breast cancer. She was sitting there going through a chemotherapy one day and she looked at me and she said, always just do what you want to do, Alex. You have to chase your dreams because I will never forgive myself if this happens to you tomorrow and you don't get to live your life. Yeah, that's probably the moment that I became a rebel. I like to follow my heart and I like to be this person that fights for what I believe in. In terms of surviving here on the island, I'm going to be in my element. I've climbed to the top of Kilimanjaro before.
Just summited the highest freestanding mountain in the world.
I've hiked through Africa. I've lived on a tropical island in Mexico, fought in London against an MMA fighter 10 kilograms heavier than me, and I choked him out in the third round. I have all of the necessary skills to win this game. I've got stamina and I'm fast, I'm quick, I'm strong. But more importantly than that, I know how to befriend people. I know how to adapt and make everyone like me. And that is the most important thing in this game.
Alex, we even got a cameo from a previous Survivor player there as he was climbing the mountain. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lockie.
Mad Dog's Lockie.
Must be a friend of Lockie coming into this. And I did say Titan, but he is a rebel, actually. I had a look here and noticed that he is a rebel, actually, as well. So, Alex, what's your thoughts on Alex Mucky coming in to this season?
I really like him. I sort of get the vibe he's going to be like, he's going to play hard, right? I sort of think he's got the attitude and stuff. Yeah, he seems like Lockie. I don't think he's just going to, like, I feel like he could be like the original leader of the Rebels tribe, but he's not going to just be like a Mark or like a Josh that sort of leads the
I
tribe.
could see for us using him. I could see for us
Yeah.
and him getting really along, but for us being like, I'll let this guy maybe be like the guy that sort of takes the heat and I'll use him as like a meat shield type of thing.
Yeah, but I do think that Alex will be a game player, though. I don't think he'll just ride that wave all the way. I think he would want to.
They could be boys.
Make move stuff. Yeah, exactly. They could absolutely be boys, which is why I personally put him as post-merge. Once again, similar to Mark, just being one of the big players that tends to go out around the final 10, final 9 spot. I think he's going to be really entertaining, and I can't wait to see what juicy stuff he's going to bring this season.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's going to be. In fact, I kind of put him towards. I will put him towards the top of post merge at this stage. I think he's up there. I do think he's going to be playing a deep game for some of the reason. I get good vibes from him. Kahuna, any thoughts?
I love the stretch of the rebellious teacher. I'm fighting the education system.
Fight Titans on a daily basis.
Another brick in though. Anyway, but yeah, I think I agree with you, Chris. He seems to have, again, on paper, a total package kind of player. Very physical. Seems to have it all. As far as when we try to make that link of, I'm in customer service or I'm in retail and I'm a lawyer and I deal with people every day. Teachers genuinely have to get complex messages across to a very unreceptive, sometimes not able to receive, like physically, like their brain is not fully developed. So he's developed skills to get that across. I think teachers are certainly a good negotiators and dealing with diverse range of people that maybe don't have the life experience that he's used to dealing with, like of normal people, but he's used to some wild out there people. And I like the I've traveled the world and I skydive and I do MMA and stuff. Like why people are bored, man. They need to do a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah, here we are.
We do. We can vouch for that. We can speak on behalf of all white people. We need to do a lot of things.
It all adds to his competence, I think. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move it on. And for this next one, we are going to go to finally a Titan. I said Titan in the previous one. It wasn't a Titan. So we're going to go to Charles. Love the marooning, by the way.
My name's Charles. I'm 35 years old. I'm a litigation lawyer based in Melbourne. I specialise in large-scale disputes and in particular class actions. As a litigation lawyer, my day job is to outwit my opponents, and that's exactly what I'm going to do on Survivor. People describe me as friendly, down-to-earth, clever, and funny. I'm a dad to an 18-month-old daughter. Being a dad is amazing, stressful, incredibly hard work, but I love it at the same time. I can be a bit goofy because I don't take myself too seriously. I like to have fun and joke around. That being said, I do take my work very seriously. When it comes to taking down the big guys, I take that really seriously. I'm perfect for the game of Survivor because I have an incredible social skill set. I'm used to conflict as a litigation lawyer, and I'm really good at negotiating and representing my own interests and the interests of people that I care about. The game of Survivor has never seen a player like me. I've worked tirelessly for years and years to hone my skill sets as a lawyer, and I'll bring those skill sets to Survivor, and I'll bring that dedication and persistence as well. When I'm working, I always think multiple steps ahead. And by the time my opponents come to a particular argument, I've already thought of a response, and their argument is dead in the water.
Wow, did we see a little bit of a sneak peek of Tobias and Charles there, the early season rivalry potentially coming into the game? Kahuna, thoughts on Charles?
I didn't mention in the previous video with Sarah that she had pink Crocs, and that should have been a plus in her being a maybe sole survivor for that reason. Charles, I don't know if this is good or bad, because on one side you're doing it, but on the second side, like, you have the balls and the bravura to get on TV wearing socks with sandals, and he put his foot up, so it's on camera. I'm wearing grey socks with sandals on national television in front of millions of people, and he's choosing to wear it. And I feel like someone who has that kind of self-confidence, also, like, we've seen in Survivor US, where they're doing the whole thing of like, don't tell anyone I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. Ooh, lawyer, secret lawyer. I like that. He's like, I'm mega lawyer. I am like a titan of litigation. Because I am the lawyer of all lawyers.
Own it.
Like,
Yeah.
own it.
The
Like,
whole,
I think
the whole
I think he's an early boot.
suits, the whole
I think
suits
he's early,
Harvey,
yeah.
Harvey script, or Lewis
Yeah.
Litt. Would he be Harvey or Lewis Litt? I reckon he'd be
No,
Lewis Litt.
he's Lewis Litt.
He's Lewis Litt, I reckon.
Yeah,
we got our
he
first.
loves money, that's for sure.
We've got our first name reveal here in the live. Chadu saying first time in AU Survivor that has the same name as me. So Chadu is Charles. We now know his Chadu's real name. Mark says you can't handle the truth. For us, is an absolute fashion crime. But what a badass. We also have someone asking a question. In the US Survivor, lawyers lie about their profession. Will he or should he? I don't think he will. I think Australians will just be like, yeah, okay, he's a lawyer. Like, I find it so weird that people lie about being a lawyer when they play the game. Like, I guess in America it's very different because you get sued for everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Here they go.
I feel like
all right, nerd.
lawyers
You
are
must
like,
have had me a long time.
yeah, exactly. Like lawyers in America is kind of like traffic cops. Like the likelihood of you running into them is just that much higher. Chadu says for us, I don't know what you're talking about. It's so comfy.
And I will back up Chadu here. So quite famously, for those who haven't seen our Traders Australia coverage, but I had lost one jandal. So I only had one jandal. But for Christmas this year, I've gotten Crocs with Star Wars pins on them. And I've been wearing them with socks. And it's literally one of my most comfiest footwears I've ever had. Crocs with socks. Absolutely. It's not jandals and socks like Mad Dog Charles, but Crocs with socks is an absolute, I love it.
Wow. Okay. Well, Charles, where do you sit on him? Kuna, do you sit on him post-merge or pre-merge?
I'm pre-merge. I'm worried that he'll get lost in the physicality. Like when we're looking at some of these mammoth, like Titans on the Rebels team as well, like as far as physical stature goes. And if he's not carrying his weight, like obviously they'll chuck him on every puzzle. But if he doesn't carry his weight, I think he'll be easily expendable for his team. So I'm going pre-merge.
Mucky, where do you sit on this?
Look, I kind of have him in two categories. Yeah, two players that sort of rings a bell when I see him, and it's Baden from Champions vs Contenders 2 and Ben from last season. I think he could be, because like definitely also from seeing like the comments from some of the players here and sort of vibe I get from him. So I feel like he's going to be kind of like at first he's going to be like a wee bit of a meme. Everyone's going to love him, and I think that could carry him. Well, yeah, I'm down, Chadu. I'm down. And yeah, I feel like he could potentially make all the way to as a runner-up, similar to Baden, or he could be out. I think he could be out pre-merged.
So Soul Survival first boot. Is that what you're saying?
I want to go that far. Just for the sake of it, I think I will agree with Kahuna here and go pre-merge. I think, for pretty much similar reasons as Kahuna, I think there's a chance he could potentially make it to the end as a runner-up. But I will agree with Kahuna and say pre-merge for now.
Yep. He looks like he's going to be a fun person on the show in any case. I do agree. His upside could be like a Steven Fishback upside strategist type of vibe. I just don't know if he's got his JT in the game, the guy that, like he can form that connection with, basically, from the
Yeah.
other side that are in with the cool kids club, that are in with the jocks, that will bring him into the late game. You know, I'm hoping him and Mark both came on at the same time. I hope Mark is his JT and that we're wrong and that Mark will bring him into the cool kids club with him, basically. That's what my
Sure.
hope is. That's what I'm putting out there. But okay, for this next one, we are gonna go to another Titan. We're gonna go to Jessica for this one. So let's get the video up and running.
I am Jess, or Dr. Jess, if you will. I'm 33, I live in Melbourne, and I'm an academic. I'm a senior lecturer at a university. My job involves teaching the next generation of nutritionists. I'm one of the best university teachers in all of Australia. I am quite intellectual as well. I am always on, always thinking. One of my biggest strengths is that my brain is going 110%, 100% of the time. I don't switch off. So I think that I will be constantly analysing this game, constantly strategizing, just quietly and in my mind. What might be my undoing, though, is that I do tend to take things quite personally. I'm definitely the kind of person that holds a grudge. So if someone stabs me in the back, it will take a lot for me to be able to just put that aside and to forge ahead, forgetting about that. But I really need to leave the emotion behind, and that's the thing that I think I will have to consciously be working at. I'm actually fine in, all the natural elements. I think that I'm going to really just think of Survivor as being one big fun camping adventure. Maybe we've lost our food along the way, and we'll have to see how we deal with that. But I think that what I will struggle with the most out here is the psychological side to the game. And as long as I'm trying to keep my mindset positive and my mindset healthy, there's nothing from an element perspective that I have to worry about. I want to show Australia and show young women in particular that people that are scientists aren't just men in white coats working in a lab, that we can be real cool people as well that can outwit, outplay, and outlast.
Jessica, big reaction there from Kahuna. Kahuna, tell us about it.
I just love these videos. They're funny. Again, like, I don't know if it's her or if it's producers saying, like, we got to make it fit Titan, but she's like, I'm the world's best lecturer. Super nutritionist. And and I just laugh when she's like, scientists can be cool too. We're cool people, yo. Like again, if you have to say it, you're probably not.
And she clearly isn't a fan of the show, right? Because Hayley already made scientists cool when she came onto the show, and she's saying she's trying to change the stereotype, so she's not a fan, at least. And so that's a warning sign. And then
pain medicine, pain science versus nutrition as well. I'm like,
yeah. And then also, if you think about some of the things she called out, she's like, I'm someone that will take betrayal very badly. I'm going to take it personally. I'm going to struggle with the psychological part of the game. Like, these are all like red flag.
There's one thing that works well in Survivor is holding grudges.
I'm someone that will constantly think, potentially an overthinker. Another red flag. Like, for me personally, I have to put her at pre-merge. I think she's a pre-merge.
Absolutely.
Soul Survivor? What are you talking? No.
Well, you're outvoted regardless. Go for the fences.
I would love to see her take as a nutritionist on my diet, which is just only chocolate milk. I'd love to see.
Good question from Mr. from Jono here in the.
I have it
live
before Kirby, but you guys liked Kirby as the first.
No, but we need one from each. We need one
for them.
Yeah.
Who got left?
We can always change it. Same for Kirby. If there's someone that comes up that seems like they should be a first boot, we can always change it.
So far, I would put her as the first boot of the Titans that we've got.
All right. Well, there we go. Now she's in the potential spot of that, but we'll see if she can get out of it by the end of it. Thanks, Jono, for helping out with the podcast. That's why we love having the live audience here that can keep us honest. So, Maki, any other thoughts there? Like, I mean, obviously she's right at the bottom of the barrel right now, but anything that we've missed? Overthinker, potentially going to struggle with the psychological side of the game. You know, there's a lot going on with her at the moment. I feel like she's it's funny coming into the show. I was thinking to myself, I would clearly be a Titan if I was to play the game. I mean, that's a given, but I don't know if I would want to play with the Titans. I'd much rather play with the Rebels, because I feel like with the Titans, we'll have a lot of A-type personalities in that tribe. I don't think they would be fun. It's like how you wouldn't want to be in the heroes tribe. You'd want to be in the villains tribe.
Well, all I gotta say is you boys better strap yourself in, because I think she's gonna be my rogue of the season. All right, every single line.
Well, we know how well it worked out for Rogue.
I'm the reason why she's so famous on our channel. All right, but yeah, I think
Infamous is the right word.
Sorry.
Oh no, after you can hear it.
I was just going to say, Chris, you know, the very first time I ever heard someone refer to themselves as a type A personality, they said, I'm a real type A personality. And I remember I'd never heard the phrase before. And I remember thinking, I don't know what traits are stereotypical of people from type A, but this feels really racist the way she said it. I have no idea what people from type A are like. I'm assuming just normal Chinese, but she's going hard on type A. So, okay. And then I realized it was type A, not type A.
That is such a bad one. We're coming out like deep into the podcast, 2 hours in. This is going to be our longest podcast as well that we've ever actually done. Coming in with the dad jokes at this time of the podcast, but I'm going to move on in the essence of time here. So let's keep it moving. Let's get into our next video, which is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Rihanna, for this next one.
I'm Rihanna Bowley. I'm 31 from Adelaide, and I'm a paramedic. I don't even know where to start and like being a paramedic, because it is just the most amazing job. No one will ever know how amazing it is until they've actually done it. You can't show up to the job and be like, sorry, too hard, guys. I can't do this. You need to be strong. So we kind of have our strong, tough side. So we go out to all these major things that we have to do, but also we have this other like compassionate side where we've got all the little things that we go to. We have to be quite sweet and nice and just help treat them for all the little things as well. So I've got two different sides to being a paramedic. Every day, pretty much I have to adapt. Like I don't even know what job I'm going to at the start of the day to the end of the day. They literally send me a page, I'm going to a job, and I have to adapt straight away. I might be doing something on a beach. I might be in someone's home. I have to like fully assess every situation and be fully ready for anything that comes towards me. So as a paramedic, when I walk in, I assess the situation straight away. And when I come onto the beach in Survivor, it's exactly what I'm going to be doing as well. I'm a rebel because I'm not afraid to take risks. I jump into emergency situations at work, and I also jump out of planes. So I've done like skydiving, I've gone diving with whale sharks, bungee jumping, like cliff diving, all those things that people are pretty much too scared to do. I just love it for the adrenaline, and it just makes me just like a little bit excited just to get it like done. 100% am an outdoors person, and I think being in the country and growing up in the country definitely rooted all those joys for being all that outdoorsy person. I go on hikes pretty much every week, and I think I just find it as my happy place, and I love being outside. I want to prove to myself that I can actually do this. I 100% think I can win this game. I reckon I've literally got like all the elements to make the perfect Soul Survivor, and I'm really hoping that I can get there.
There we go, Rihanna, for this next one here. Definitely out of all of the people that we've seen here, I feel like one of the more relatable people, like someone that if I was on the island with, like I would want to play with Rihanna. Like I just feel like she's really grounded, down to earth, would be a very loyal ally in the game. I don't think she's going to be running the game strategically, but I feel like it's someone that you can rely on. Like, I mean, like she said there, she's got to show up for very tough situations and make the best out of it and can't step back. So that's the kind of cool head that you want in an alliance member. So I feel like she could be a very good 2IC or a 3IC within an alliance. Based on that, I do think if she finds her people, I do think she could make it to the merge. I really do feel like I get good vibes from Rihanna. Kahuna, what do you think? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not. When you say good vibes, I get not like, yeah, like inoffensive. She's just going to be a number. She's going to be a member of an alliance that's not driving anything, that's not adding anything, that's just a vote. and because of that, she can go into the merge for sure. So I agree with that.
Charles being very like Char dude, like what's going on here? What's going on here? You know, Mucky. So what did you say? Did you say not post merge or pre merge?
Oh, me or
Kerner, sorry.
I said
Kerner, what did you say?
I said post.
Post.
Yeah.
So she's definitely post. I do think she's going to get there. I think she's going to find herself insulated well and do well. And like I said, I don't know if she's got the personality for TV, but that's not what we're rating her on here. I think like she's going to find her people. And it's like I said, if I think she's a great Alliance member, I'm sure other people are going to find her to be a great Alliance member. Mucky, thoughts on her?
I completely agree with both of you guys. Actually, like I think she's also going to be quite purpled. I think, unfortunately, but I do think that she's going to be someone who's going to be very insulated and multiple different alliances. She's going to be the type of player to be here and exit press and deep dives of like, oh, you know, Rihanna's playing a fantastic game and stuff, but that just doesn't translate to the TV. So yeah, I think that she's going to make a post merge. I can see it maybe being voted out towards the end just because she's just, you know, you have like your final four locked in and she's just one of people not in that final four potentially. But yeah, like that's all my notes I have on it, really.
Okay, so pretty soon we're going to get into the tough position where we're going to have to potentially start bouncing people out of the post-merge if we get more people here, because we're getting very close towards the finish line, and there's a few people still from that Rebels side that we need to talk about. So, but for now, let's get into the next person here that I do have on my list, and it's going to be Caroline.
My name is Caroline Cortis. I'm 55 years old. I'm a midwife. I'm from northern New South Wales, and I am the strongest, most determined person you're ever going to meet. Being a midwife, it means that you wear many hats. You have to know when's the right time to be soft, when's the right time to bring it. It's a really amazing, rewarding, but really tough job. Life, death, it's all there. I've lived an amazing life, and I've been through a lot. With age and life experience, I know that I've got grit and determination in spades. My ability to forge relationships with other people is going to be the biggest part of my game. As a midwife, you walk into a room and you have to get to know that woman, that family, and they have to trust you implicitly like that. And I think people will trust me naturally. I'm on the Titans tribe for a reason. No matter how hard the challenge is, I will give it 1,000% every single time. If I could describe my strategy in 3 words, it would be, I want to play with intelligence, I want to build relationships, and I want to play with heart. I think people are going to really underestimate me because of my age, but I'm going to be making big moves, so they better watch out. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of episodes of Survivor, and I've always wanted to know what it was going to feel like to push myself as hard as I possibly can. I'm a big believer that you need to push yourself, that you need to get outside your comfort zone to feel life and to feel living. You know, you only live once. When it comes to my industry, I am the best of the best. I will do anything to be the best at what I do. People can rely on me, they can depend on me, and I'm going to be taking all of those skills into the game with me.
There we go. So that is Caroline from the Titans tribe. We had a question come in here from a few of the live audience. Jonathan asking, are we doing a 12 or 13 merge tribe? I reckon we go for 13, make it a little bit easier on us here. because it is quite late night. It'll be easy to I think it'll be easier for us to get 13 into the post merge than what it would be to get the pre merge going. And at the moment, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would mean that we've got 4 more spots left in between all of those people that we've got there. This is a lot harder, Kuna, than what I thought it would have been. It was a very good idea on the vision board, but doing it live, it's harder than what I thought, right?
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. So I think we keep going with our current logic, but then if we start reaching the peak, we may have to bump people out, depending on where we're sitting. But thoughts on Caroline, Marquez? Anything specifically standing out for you? Are you surprised that she's the Titan? Because I am. Like, I mean, I didn't realize that if you're a
midwifery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
She's
mean,
the
it's
best. She's the best of the best at the baby delivery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like one of those things where you've got Titans on the Rebels tribes and you've got Rebels on the Titans tribe, right? And it's just to keep the tribes balanced, obviously, otherwise it would be just an absolute landslide, right? So yeah, I think she could really go either way. I could see her going post-merge, but I can also see her going pre-merge as well. Like someone who actually came to mind was Sarah and Champions vs Contenders number 2. Like just someone who's a fun character, a great character, but unfortunately like just gets taken out around mid pre-merge, and that's kind of where my assessment of her is.
Danny asking, are they giving them script to say another best of the best? That's why I said some of these people are getting egged on by the producers for sure, just because it's a female-dominated industry. What did you say?
To not be a Titan just because you're a midwife.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mean much by that. It's just if you look at the others, they're like, I guess a lawyer versus a midwife. It's a pretty difficult industry. They're definitely stretching to get people into this, and we said that was going to be the whole thing from the start.
Yeah,
it may also
the
be because
nutritionist lecturer as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like listen, I mean, pre-merge potentially, post-merge. Like it's pre-merge. I feel like pre-merge as well.
Pre-merge for me, early. Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next one here, and the next one is going to be for Kitty.
My name's Kitty. I'm 42 years old. I run 2 businesses. I have a podcast and I live on the Gold Coast in Queensland. I'm a Titan because I turned my life around. So I used to party hard. I took a lot of drugs. I didn't respect my body. And I just got to the point where I didn't want to be that woman anymore. And I turned my life around. I transformed my body. I transformed my health. And then I went on to build 2 multiple 7-figure businesses. One is a coaching business where I help women win at life, and the other is a supplement and skincare company. I want women to live their best life and take chances. Like, I'm just a bogan from the Gold Coast. If I can do it, you can do it too. I think one of my strengths going to survival will be that I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. My strength is making connections and influencing people, so I'm going to use that in this game. To be honest, I'm probably not the most strategic person, but I'm really good at connecting and influencing people. And I am very trusting. So I have to realise that someone may be saying something to my face. Like, I take people on face value because I believe that everyone is good. So I think that is probably one of my weaknesses. I think someone will blindside me because I'm just too trusting. So I want women to watch me on the show and listen to my story and feel empowered to know that they can change their lives and really do anything and live their best life. In Kitty's world, everyone would be winning, everyone would be happy, everyone would be doing what they love. Like, I just want everyone to win and be happy.
Right. So we know what she wants to do in Kitty's world. Kuna. In Kuna's world, where do you rate her on this list?
Yeah, again, out of however many minutes to hours worth of confessional they give, and they specifically choose, I'm not strategic. I trust people no matter what they say. I think everyone's awesome and believe them no matter what. She's an early. She's pre-merge.
Mucky, are you up or down on her? Like she to me comes across as a Titan. Like, I mean, let's give her credit. She was on the wrong path. A lot of people don't have the ability to get themselves out of that deep hole that she was in.
Yeah.
You know, abusing her body, using substances that probably wasn't great to be in shape. She's like, I had to go have a quick look online on the fandom page to see how old she is, and she's like in her 40s, and her body looks better than a lot of girls in their 20s. Like she's done a phenomenal job to turn that around. So all credit where it's due in regards to that. She's built multiple successful businesses, which to me was shocking that she said she's not good strategically, because how do you build businesses without having some? I feel like she maybe underestimates her own ability to be strategic, because those things don't just normally happen. Like, you can maybe get lucky once, but having multiple successful businesses, how did you do that? Like,
it's all
so I
life coaching and supplements.
yeah,
See the
but
beauty
I
grid
got a little bit of godmother vibes from her, to be honest, based on that alone, and the fact that she's this business person. Obviously, who's Janine? What's the Janine? Her name, the godmother.
Janine,
Yeah, Janine. Janine had a juice. She had the juice smoothie thing, which is in health as well. So I see some upsides to Kitty. Like, I don't know if I'm I'm not a pre-merge on her. I'll go post-merge on her and let Mucky be the one to break the tie on this one.
Yeah, it's interesting because I can really see a case for either way. I could see her potentially being someone who will, like, especially in like the first few episodes where you're just looking for any reason to vote someone else. Like, oh, why not her, right? But I can also see her potentially being someone like a Janine, who can be like a godmother type figure and could potentially go pretty far into this game, or to early merge anyway. So I will probably go post merge for now.
Let's do it. Like, look at us, Mucky. We're agreeing more than once at the moment,
I
and we're cutting out Kahuna's bad takes
originally
tonight.
It was originally meant to be Kahuna and I backing each other. You know, we've done more shows together than Chris and I have, but unfortunately, he's already betrayed me, and I'm just totally done. Just like Jessica, I don't take betrayal very well, and Kahuna, like I've just blocked him on Facebook. Like,
yeah.
Blocked on Facebook. Okay, let's go to the next one here, and move into Eden for this next one.
My name's Eden Porter. I'm 39 years old. I'm a pop culture aficionado, and I come from Melbourne.
This must be the Tom guy, right? You guys agree? I feel like, let's keep watching. I feel like this might be Tom.
I'm an area manager for the cinemas. I look after 11 different cinema sites across Victoria, and I'm there to oversee everything to make sure the customer service is at a really high standard and all the sites are delivering what they expect. I work in cinemas because I love movies. I love watching stories and I love telling stories. I'm a storyteller. It's what I do. When people first meet me, they are, wow, this guy is on, pretty much. I run a really fine line between being entertaining and being annoying, but I have to have that self-awareness to sort of control that a little bit and know when I'm being too much or bring it down. And that's probably a big thing for this game. I love puzzles. I love escape rooms. I love thinking outside the box. So everything like that, as well as the social aspect of it, has really sort of come together to make me a well-rounded survivor player. I've studied this game my whole life. I know the tactics and I know the strategies that are going to get me forward. There have been a lot of great players. I'm a big super fan. So they've got people like Nick, Benji is another one that comes to mind. The energy of Geordie as well is all fantastic. I want to bring that same level of energy to the game. I love to get on with people. I'm a people person at my heart. I love to be super positive and rah, rah, rah. But at the end of the day, I'll cut your throat when you least expect it. The other thing that's going to really help me is I actually trained as an actor. I did 3 years of performing arts at Monash University. And from that, not only can I lie to someone's face, no problems. I can look you dead in the eye, you're safe, you're fine. I won't even blink. And I've got the ability to read into someone's soul, to really figure out what they're thinking. They're not going to know what I'm thinking. They're going to have no idea. I have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast everyone else in this tribe, in this game, in this world. I've got all the skills necessary to bring home the bacon. Hold on to your butts.
I feel like that's the player. What am I thinking right now? But yeah, see, I knew it. I freaking knew it as soon as I was like, got it down. So if Tom played the game, Mucky, would he make the merge? That is the question right now.
Tom has got no social game. You know, he mentioned earlier that he was a bartender, but he didn't say if he was a good bartender or not. And I feel like that's really,
that's why he doesn't get cast on the show, because he's not the
He
greatest bartender of all time. That's why he doesn't get cast. Like
he's like the worst bartender of all time. So that's why he'd be on the Rebels tribe. No, but I could immediately tell that that Tom and Eden were the same person, because if you look closely, Eden is wearing a Star Wars tie, and I know Tom's a big fan of Star Wars, especially the Ahsoka and the sequel trilogy as well.
Right.
That's like really up Tom's alley. So
they're both actors.
That's weird.
One's a good actor. Tom is a kind of actor, and so
this has just become the roast Tom
Exactly.
podcast. For those who don't know Tom is and why we're going in so hard on Tom. Tom is one of our co-hosts for some of the shows that we do here on the channel. You probably will see him on a recap for Australian Survivor this season, making a guest appearance at some point as well. So we're just roasting him a little bit here. But in all seriousness, what did you think of Eden, Mucky? Do you like him? Do you think he's someone that could go deep in the game?
I really like him, but I have a feeling though, because my whole sort of thing is that, like, especially with American Survivor, I'm not so into it because there's so many super fans, and I feel like he's going to fall into the sort of like the early 30s, early 20s American Survivor, where the super fan, like, he's like, he just wants to do all the super fan stuff, and it's kind of taken out early because of that. So I could see him going pre-merge just for that, but he is a fun character. I'd love to see him go really far, but that's just the kind of vibe I'm getting from it. I think he's going to nerd his way out. Like
early in the game, so you feel like you'd be an early boot.
Yeah, I feel like around like the 5th, 6th out.
Where do you sit on the schooner?
First of all, when I first watched this guy, I got Mucky vibes, not Tom.
I did. I did get a little bit. I got Mucky vibes as well. Yeah.
The quirky actor, the improv,
there was one line.
Like
there was one line. There was one line.
Peter Stash.
The line of him saying. The line of him saying, I always run the risk of being entertaining or annoying. Like, I feel like that was like the line that summed up Mucky. It's like Mucky's always on that line of being entertaining or annoying. So I feel like, yes, that was Mucky through and through from that aspect.
I've never had a complaint against my personality before, Chris. I'm a very lovable guy. No one has ever found me annoying.
Clearly a Titan, Mucky. Clearly a
Titan.
Yeah. Having said that, he's a lot that I got Mucky vibes. I do like him. I think he's going to go far. At least to post merge. I do think he's going to merge. And just as an inside little thing, like, he's a movie nerd. Did anyone pick up his movie quote at the end there? Hold on to your butts. It's from Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah,
that's it.
Nice.
I'm going post merge.
Let's do it. I'm with you on that one. I'm popping him in on post merge as well for now. That does mean that we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 2 more spots available. Pretty soon we may have to start booting people.
1 more spot? Because it was 13-person merge, 1 person wins.
No. So the person who wins obviously makes the merge. Yeah, 13 in total. Yep.
Yeah.
So the person who wins is part of the merge.
Yeah.
All right. It's late at night, especially over in New Zealand. We'll forgive Mucky for that slip up there.
I literally start work in like 90 minutes, so please forgive me.
We're just gonna keep podcasting. We're gonna podcast until Mucky has to go to work, basically, at this stage. But let's do the next one here. The next one's gonna be for Peter.
My name's Peter. I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I am a bar manager and I'm 33 years old. I was raised in the country of the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. I had my first child when I was 16. About 4 years ago, I moved over to Perth, Western Australia, and started a new little life for myself over there. I do have multiple children, and they always keep me on my toes. So, yeah, and then working in the hospitality industry. I love working behind bars, and the people that you meet and the opportunities that you gain while you're doing that is quite euphoric. I think on first impression, people do misread who I am because they run the other direction, honestly. I'm a bit of a wild child. I like to keep it naughty, like to keep it upbeat. I wouldn't have it any other way. 47 days in the elements seems like a cakewalk to me. I actually quite looking forward to it. I grew up in the tropics and in the rainforest. Honestly, the sleeping on the beach, the no sleep, the small amount of eating, that sounds like my 20s. So look, I'm actually, I'm looking forward to getting my hippie on. I am a little bit of a fan of Survivor. I'm not going to give that away though. I have watched the US, I've watched South Africa, I've watched New Zealand, and I've watched Australia multiple times. Look, I am taking bits and bobs from a few people. I loved Shay from a few seasons ago. Absolutely, like, I don't know, I just love her wild and rebellious ways and absolute challenge beast, absolutely. And that's the type of people that I would like to play with. So, as a main alliance, I'm a rebel by nature. From the day I was born, I've probably been quite rebellious. I'm just always getting up to trouble. I think life's bland if you don't have a bit of a rebellious streak around you. And I don't want a bland life. You only get one. You may as well make the most of it. So why not? Why not be a rebel?
There we go. Peter on this one here. Kahuna, let's get the ball rolling with you.
I love Peter. I got good vibes from her. Again, I don't know. It was just one of those instinctive choices, but I was going to make her a high pick from her. A high pick for me. I just thought she's going far. She seems like she's got a great personality. She threw in there was some B-roll of there doing kickboxing and stuff. So she seems like she could have the physical along with the bartender, everyday personality that gets along with people. I like her a lot, and I'm hoping that the fact that I instantly liked her means that other people are going to as well. I've got her as posts going pretty deep.
Marcus has got big winner vibes.
Yeah.
She's my winner pick. I agree with Gabe on this one, saying Peter, surprisingly, as a Survivor fan, wouldn't have expected that. Can see her be like Shay in Blood vs. Water. Now, obviously, for me, I was like, it caught me off guard. I was like, maybe pre-merge. Like, I don't know if I will put her in post-merge. And then she was like, bam, watch Survivor South Africa, which is my favorite franchise. Watch Survivor US.
It's like mentioning aliens.
Australia's about, yeah, exactly. Suddenly, Peter suddenly became my type, having watched Survivor South Africa. So, yeah, like, I do think she's probably there, but I want to bring it up because we've got so many people from the Rebels already in there. The whole Rebels tribe is not going to make it. Do we bounce out Tobias for Peter or not? Like, Mucky, where do you sit on this? First, you should probably put in, do you think she's a post-merger?
In my personal rankings, I placed her second behind Feras. Like, I think she's going all the way. Like, I really do.
Should we talk about, is she potentially more Soul Survivor quality than Feras? Should the discussion be up?
No, I personally don't think so.
Okay, but definitely a post-merger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I think based
down.
Based on that confidence that we have, we'll drop him down and we'll put Peter on for the post-merge tribe in any case. All right, so let's have a look at who we can check out next that we haven't had a look at yet. We've got Kelly that we can do. So let me just go and have a look at Kelly.
People might underestimate me because I'm a little bit older, but these young chicks have no bloody idea what I'm about to pull off. Hey, my name's Kelly. I'm a no bullshit psychologist and I'm from Cairns. And you know what? I'm going to rock this game. I'm exceptionally young at heart. In fact, sometimes I'm too young at heart, probably for some people to tolerate. People find me sometimes very confronting in the beginning, quite shocking. But once they know me, they see I have a very warm, kind, empathic heart. And that's what I want to bring to the game. What you see is what you get. There's no bullshit here. I am what I am. I love people, and I just love life. Because I'm so little and tiny, they expect me to probably be a bit fragile. You know, I got long blonde hair and, you know, I try and be a bit cute and all that stuff. But people don't expect me to be as fearless as what I am, I don't think. And then they get to know me and they're like, holy shit. I'm the type of person that does cut the crap and get straight to the point. Sometimes that's difficult for people, but that's what I do. The doctors and a few people who refer patients to me call me the no bullshit psychologist. I sit and I listen to people's beautiful stories. I say it as it is. I don't pussyfoot around. I have the best job in the world. I think being a psychologist is a great advantage. It's just something that I know how to do. I've been analysing for more than half my life. All day, every day, all I do is just watch people. So I think that gives me an advantage, the ability to read people really well. I'm a rebel, always in my life. I've been a rebel from the day I was born. I mean, why would you want to be boring? I'm not going to be boring. I love being a rebel. It's who I am, and I'm going to die being a rebel.
I love that.
Kelly. A lot of I was gonna say Marcus is stealing it from me. Very Debbie Warner vibes, kooky character vibes here. Does she have Debbie Warner upside though? Will she go deep in the game, Mucky? What do you think?
I think there's a world where she does. I think her road on going far is very similar to Debbie's, where she's not really taken as necessarily seriously. But you know, people do tend to forget Debbie is quite a strategic player. Like she really is, right? Despite you know, we remember her for how kooky and out there she is, but she's actually quite like a smart, intelligent, strategic player. It's just her social game is not so there. I can see a case where Kelly makes post-merge, but the pre-merge for Australian Survivor is so long, and I do think, and you know, there are two people that looked at this cast. Mate, I'm not going to confirm or deny, mate, but there could be a chance. You know, she could be my long-lost mother. Who knows? But I think the pre-merge of Australian Survivor is so long, and like as much as I hate to say it, I'd love for her to go far, but I think she's a pre-merge.
I think it's pretty clear. Danny says, I think her survival depends on her biting her tongue until after the first boot, which she won't do, unless she can get in a strong alliance that will protect her. I think the producers will like her, though, and will try to keep her around, possibly an early idol fight. Yeah, so maybe give her an advantage at the first tribal council where she can save half of her tribe kahuna. That's a potential there to keep her in the game a bit longer. But there's also a case being made by, I think it was Jonathan, who said probably first boot. I do think we should consider, like, between Kirby and her. I feel like, to me, she's more likely to be
I
a
was
first
looking
boot
for
than Kirby.
parchment to write her name down while I was watching it. I was looking for parchment I could write her name down.
Well,
while I'm watching, I'm like, a 55-year-old or the older lady thing who can't do Mama Bear is not going to be tribe mum because she's freaking annoying. If her whole thing is like reading people, I hope she can read if she's like rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah,
it's true.
Well, can I make a case for why I don't think Kelly is the first boot?
Go for it.
So, like,
You're still going to get outvoted, because two of us think that. Between Kirby and her, like, I feel like Kirby is less likely to piss people off.
It's less offensive, like Kirby will absolutely just blend into the background compared to her.
Because in the first episode, there's always some kind of twist, right? Obviously, it wasn't seen in Heroes versus Villains because the whole George and Jackie potentially being medically evacuated, so they couldn't make it too complicated.
The George twist.
Yeah. Pretty much the George twist. I mean, it's been. I would say it's a Henry twist. It's been happening ever since All Stars. You had the idol that lasted, for the first 3 rounds was hidden at Tribal. The George advantage, the idol that's hidden at the podium. I could see a case where if someone wants to make a big move straight away, Kelly's the person to save, right? Or if maybe there's an idol hidden at Tribal, Kelly's gonna be the one to rush for it if she's aware of where the idol is. So I could
Dolores
definitely.
makes a good point. But and again, like, listen, how I see it here is that we have to make a decision based on a 2-minute video, and we're going to make a decision. I feel pretty comfortable putting her there. I'd be more than happy to be wrong. I think she'll be a lot of fun to watch throughout the whole season, because she's not going to sit still when she's playing. But I just don't see it. Makes a big move and takes out Tobias.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's a possibility. Let's have a look at who we can check out next here.
Winner.
We haven't. Yep, there's a few people still left at this stage, I believe. Let me just have a look at what videos are still available. I'm hoping all the videos are on here.
Yeah.
Garrick. It's only 30 seconds for Garrick, though. That doesn't sound right.
No, there should be a longer one.
Let me just go share screen. Let's have a look.
Scroll up. It should be towards the top.
Towards the top? Oh, yeah. Got it.
My name is Garrick Wildman. I'm 59 and I'm from Queensland. What has prepared me for Survivor is primarily my job. I'm a loss prevention officer, someone who deals with cheats and deceit daily. You learn to smell the rat and spot the snake. I've become pretty good at it. I don't feel like I'm 59 at all. I have this motto that is, don't let the old man in. Think young and have fun. I ride bikes. If you're a biker, you know the freedom. Being out on the road, riding with my buddies, it's a massive part of my life. Biggest misconception about me is that I have this pretty rugged exterior, and people just, that book and cover thing, yeah, usually they get it wrong. I can be tender and soft. I think people are gonna underestimate my physical ability. Being 59 already, I'm the doddery old fella, right? But yeah, I think I'm gonna surprise quite a few people. I'm pretty tough when it comes to the outdoors, the bush, the jungle, little food, sleeping rough. Yeah, I'll be right. Physically, I think I'll handle it no problem. I plan to play the game in every aspect of Survivor. If I have to lie, I'll lie. If I have to cheat, I'll cheat. Obviously, I'm a pretty genuine, honest person, but this is a game. So I'm there. I'm in it to win it. If I have to lie and cheat, so be it. I'm not coming to the island or to play Survivor to make friends. If I make friends along the way, so be it. I'm here to prove to myself and the Australian public that an old guy can do this. Hopefully I can inspire anyone, young, old, to get out of bed and to live more of your life. This game is knowing who you can trust and who you can't. And Survivor is just another day at work for me.
Will he keep the old man away from the game? That's the big question, Kuna. Will Garrick be able to keep the old man at home and bring the young buck out to Survivor?
For me, Garrick should be really love Kelly being in the thing, because if it wasn't for her, he would be first boot, because he's a douchebag.
Really?
He's wearing a leather jacket in the jungle, and he's a professional snitch as a job. And I have to deal with deceit. No, you don't. You have to deal with 13-year-old boys.
Who knows
like
the
links?
Who knows off the of the belief that snitches get stitches? Is that what is that the energy you're bringing to this podcast? Like, that came out of left field. The guy's making an honest living. Like, I don't agree with.
Yeah, no, of course not. But it wasn't the job bit. It was more like the look at me. I'm such a my motorbike. I'm so cool. No, you're not, man. He's gonna be an old man who pisses everyone off because he thinks he knows everything, and we've seen it 1,000 times before. I'm the cool guy, man. Look how good I am, eh? And like, all right, Garrick, whatever, dude. That's the whole vibe I get. He's
Dolores
first boot.
agrees
If
with
it
you.
wasn't for Kelly.
Yeah. Like, listen, I can see a path where he potentially would be in danger. Obviously, coming in as the older guy, I did not get douchebag vibes at all from him. He just seemed like a guy who loves riding bikes. I actually have in my family people who are really into that scene as well, who really loves bikes and loves riding it, and they're into that scene. I don't think any of them are douchebags, but I do think he's kind of pinned Kahuna when he said that people will look at him, his rugged exterior, how he is, and they will probably get that wrong vibe. So I think he probably deals with a lot of people that are quick to the gun and their comments of who he is as a person, but I just don't get any of that, and I think it's so premature to make such a comment on a 2-minute video. But I do. I know, but that's why, like, you got to think extra hard about making such a strong claim based on a 2-minute video. And just because of the fact the guy loves riding bikes out and he's got like a leather jacket on, like, I don't think it makes him a bad person or anything like that. I personally, I do think he's probably a pre-merger, but in my heart of hearts, like, Garrick, you're my boy. I love you. I really hope you make it to the post. Yeah, like, no, I've got the complete opposite. Like, I got the opposite read. You're putting an honest living out there. You're keeping businesses open. I am definitely pro-capitalist. I think without it, we wouldn't have the society that we're in today.
Anarchy.
So stopping people from stealing, being loss prevention. You're doing an honest job. I'm all there for it. So I know Mucky is another person that has to deal with people who try and steal from the stores out and back and safe all the time. So I'm sure he would appreciate someone like Garrick doing an honest living, right, Mucky? Keeps you employed.
Well, no, because it keeps me employed, because I'm the one who's bloody chasing him down the street with my machete. Like, come back here!
Because Garrick wasn't there. Garrick wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because if Garrick was there, then I would be the one unemployed. So I'm not sure if I'd want Garrick there. No, but he seems like a really cool guy, and I don't know what on earth is happening, this morning.
Yes. It's such a bad take. I agree with you, Chad, dude.
Like, I don't know what it is this morning. It's 1:47 a.m., but I'm agreeing with Chris here. Like, what's happening with this
I'm
podcast?
in the mucky slot. I'm in the mucky spot.
You really are.
It's Freaky
No,
Friday.
Survivor Guild, that they have to stand aside. I will go on Survivor before they can go on Survivor. Like, if they're lucky, I'll bring them back for Blood versus Water when I go back. So yeah, I think between the two of us, we're probably like, probably post-merge. I hope he does better than that. Like, but yeah, it's a little to go off on this. I don't have the same read as Kahuna. Kahuna's been very spicy tonight in some of his takes. Don't know why. Like, it's more than usual.
We're 3 hours in. We're 3 hours in.
3 hours in, it's like I don't have time for pleasantries. I'm just ripping the band-aid off. Okay, so the next person that we're gonna do, I think, is someone. I've got my fingers crossed because it's been a while since we've seen nice Kahuna come out to play, but I've got a feeling he's gonna be all about the winner chicken dinner. We're gonna have winner onto the next video here.
I'm Winner Bun, I'm 25 and I'm from inner west of Sydney. I'm a competitive eater. I am top 10 in Australia. I'm 8th in Australia in eating large quantities of food. Survivor is a dog-eat-dog world. Unfortunately, I can eat more than anyone. Both my parents are Thai. I actually grew up in a Thai restaurant in Glebe. For 20 years of my life, I would have the best gourmet lunches I'd bring to school. And I think that's why I was so fat when I was younger. And they just kept stuck with me. But in the end, I'm a pro eater now, so thank them. I'm an engineer by trade. I'm highly analytical and technical. And then I shifted into sales. I excel in manipulating people, getting what I want. And I think my sales skills combined with my technical skills will lead to me being an absolute killer in this game. I used to be working 9 to 5 and be scrolling on TikTok thinking there are so many people out there posting the dumbest videos and they're absolutely rich. And I thought to myself, I can literally do the same thing, but probably better. And then I started doing it. Now I've gotten 800,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, life's good now. Honestly, I'm not kidding. I have said my whole life with my friends, I would love to one day, like, get stranded on an island with just a knife and try and survive. I've wanted to do this all my life. I feel like I'm in my element. Like, even now with the waves, I'm looking for crabs already. This is where I belong. I don't think Titans are born. I think Titans are formed because of the environment they've been put in. I am very much a Titan because I excel in all aspects of my life. Engineering, TikTok, competitive eating, sales, my physical health. Everything I put my mind to, I succeed at. And that's why I'm a Titan. Survivor is the ultimate test for me because how often do you get stranded on an island, being your most primal self, starved, sleep deprived? This is who you are, and I think who I am is the strongest on this island.
Right, Kuna, did that change for you? Are you a bit happier after seeing winners? Are you in a good space right now? Do we have to have another chat?
Winner, chicken dinner. You're right, man. I love Winner. He's an engineer, analytical brain with sales experience, who then is gregarious and social enough to be a TikToker as well. Like what? Like how do you put all that into one package? And according to him as well, he's got the physical side as well. Very athletic. Apparently, there was a picture of a surfboard. I assume that's what that means. But I like him a lot. He's unassuming. He's got the Asian representation. So why not? I put Winner well deep if he doesn't annoy people by being a TikToker. Maybe he can only talk to people 15 seconds at a time. And he loses attention. So we'll see.
Maybe when he's on the island and he knows he's about to get voted out, he's like, "Quick, everyone, let's just do a quick TikTok dance to try and save me."
There is a pre-built alliance potentially, so that might be a good thing.
Yes, between Winner and Jaden. But something about Winner though that I find is kind of similar to what I said about with Kirby and Kelly, with there always being an episode 1 twist. I could see an episode 1 twist potentially saving Jessica and Winner being the first boot. But I also want to say I think he could be a winner of the season as well. I feel like he's either first boot or he wins for Titans.
We could make a brave call here and put another Soul Survivor on. I did say in the beginning of it, we can have one Soul Survivor from each tribe. So there is still that spot available. No one stood out for us. Be a very brave call. Because I don't know if he's got the social awareness needed to win the game. I think he's going to be a big character, but I don't know if how he's going to do against, there's a lot of older people in this tribe. He's quite young. Coming in as
a recruit,
tribe,
does he know the game?
Yeah, he's definitely a bit of a recruit. He's going to come in against Titans where they're going to be like, where's this guy coming from? Potentially that pre-game alliance could carry him. And I was high on Jaden. So Jaden could be the Luke Toki to his Jericho. Some people said he would need a Luke Toki figure. So those are all good omens for him potentially. What the hell? Why not? Why not pop him up there based on that alone? I'm willing to give it a crack. What do you boys think?
I reckon. Winner, chicken dinner, baby.
Chicken dinner.
I mean, they've spoiled the season by just casting him and by announcing his first name. He's the winner.
Imagine that.
He's the winner.
Winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not Tom. He's not handsome.
Oh, we've got one person left. Look at that. We've gotten to the end of this very, very long cast assessment. We've made it. It's a marathon. So we're going to look at Aileen for the last one and look at her video.
My name is Aileen. I'm 26. I work as a sales coordinator in an investment fund, and on the weekends, I work as a waitress in a cafe. From the age of 3 to 6.5, I lived in Nepal, and that's where my first memories as a child was made. I was living in the mountains of Kathmandu, and I just remember the natural environment and loving the outdoors. I have lived in the Philippines for almost 15 years. I'm an island girl at heart, and so this environment will do nothing to me. I'm the first sibling of 3. My parents raised me the way that they were raised by their parents. We got a lot of harsh punishments, and a lot of the time in Asian cultures, what your elders say is the right way. and there's no other way to go. So everything was suppressed a lot of the time. I definitely do feel like I still have to impress my parents because I don't want to bring shame to the family and I don't want to disappoint them. But on the other hand, it's time to follow my own dreams, follow my own passions, and that may mean steering away from the path that they've created for me. You know what they say, strict parents make rebellious children. So I'm gonna do whatever I want. Survivor is everything. It's my dream, it's my passion. I've watched every single episode of every single season of every single Survivor franchise out there. This game is the ultimate test because it's the ultimate social experiment, and I've been playing the social game my entire life. In my career in sales, I've been able to sell myself and the product to any sort of person, and as a waitress, I'm able to socialize with any type of person in order to get them to come back. I'm gonna let my tribe mates think that I'm just this happy-go-lucky waitress who's happy to be here. I'm just a fan of the game and the environment itself. But in reality, I'm gonna be in the background making decisions and leading the pack. I love when a player lies and cheats in the game of Survivor. This is why I'm here. I'm here to prove to everyone that you can achieve success in unconventional ways.
There we go. Aileen, Mucky, what's your thoughts?
You know, there are two players in the season that I personally really like and would love to see win, and there's Aileen and Feras. You know, I really like what both of them bring to the table. I'm excited that both of them are on the same tribe as well. Oh yeah, probably. I really like Aileen. I think there's a lot of winner upside to her. I think she's a lot for post merge, like at least.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the minimum she'll do is post merge, and the maximum is obviously win.
Yeah, this is very true, actually. I've noticed this as well, because a few people are saying that Aileen's kind of got like an American accent. The Filipino accent sometimes can sound very American because the American influence in the Philippines is massive. So I think because they watch a lot of American television, and for some other reason they pick it up, because one of my best mates is Filipino as well. Sounds more American than Kiwi, to be honest. So it's interesting how that sometimes happens with people who are from the Philippines. But yeah, like with Aileen, I feel like there's more upside than downside. She gets the game. She understands it. As long as the fear I have for her is if she's outside of the numbers, I don't know if she's sales. I don't think, and this is taking shots, I don't know if she's good at sales. Because if you're a salesperson, right, you don't need to do two jobs. A good salesperson makes a shit ton of money. And this comes from someone who works in sales, right? I know what people get paid on commissions, right? Like if you're good, you don't need to do a waitress job as well. And when I look at her and how she talks, she seems very reserved. She doesn't come across as like that type of salesperson. That is like top of the class. So when she says I'm a salesperson, I'm good, I can read all these different things. There's a reason they put her in the Rebels tribe, not the Titans tribe. She's not a Titans of salespeople coming into this game. So that's something that is concerning to me. And why I bring that up is because if she does not fall in the right numbers, she's going to struggle to play from the bottom. She's someone that will have to find the right people from the start. That's the only downside that I potentially see here. And that's why for me, it's a coin flip between pre-merge and post-merge. But I'm happy for you boys to give your thoughts on it. Kahuna, will go to you.
Man, I had a little bit of a weird moment when I first saw Eileen's video, because at first I heard that accent and I went, ay nako, it's a Filipina accent. Hey, I know that accent so well. It was warm inside us hearing it come out of my TV. And then she said she grew up in Kathmandu as Nepalese. I was like, hang on a sec. The accent, like in my head, I'm like, wait a second, I know the accent. And then she said she spent 15 years in the Philippines. I was like, yep, I know that accent. I got it right. So I've got Jaden with the sounding like an Eshe, got Feras with the Western Sydney Arabic accent, and now Aileen. I'm in accent heaven this season on Survivor. I do love Aileen a lot. The fact that she's a super fan, watching all the episodes, like, I think that's a big deal. She's going to have a lot of knowledge there, and I think she's going to be her superpower will be threat level. Like she's going to be really sort of unassuming and I think underestimated and allowed to slide past the point where they shouldn't let her. I think she'll have a lot going on for her in that regard. I have her as post, but I can see really either way going because I think the fact that she is a little bit different may see her on the outs with some of her tribe. And whether they integrate her into the team, especially if she's not as physical as some of the others. We're seeing some really, again, it looks like physical side on the women as well this season is a real emphasis for the production. And if she's not carrying a weight there, maybe they cut her in that regard. But I think she's a sleeper hit for me. I see her going deep.
A lot of support for her here in the chat. A lot of people wanting her to go really far. Killebro said, I don't care who wins so long as it isn't a Russian woman. Killebro just wants a little bit of something different. I think we've had the Russian girl, Valeria, as a pre-merge, which may be brutal, to be honest. It's been, all I'll say to the people that are watching this, it's been a lot harder than what I thought it would be. Because even with the 2 Soul Survivors, like there's potential upside there, but I can also see downsides on each one of them. So it's been very hard, and it's going to be interesting to see when we go back at the end of the season how accurate were we. We do have one last spot left on the pre-merge in any case. So is it a foregone conclusion? Are we putting Aileen? Because like I said, for me it's a coin flip. Where do you sit on this, Mucky?
I think she's post-merge.
You do?
Yep. Yeah, I really do. Do we swap someone out of post-merge to put onto pre-merge then? Or
no, we've got 13. No, we're good. We're good. 13 people on post-merge.
Yeah,
look at that. All right. Well, there we go. We've got our full list of players for the season and our predictions, which, again, like I said, very difficult thing to do. We went off very little information. Myself and Mucky, I think, have done a good job in realizing that. Kahuna's jumped the gun on a few people tonight. And I know he's going to change. I know Kahuna's going to change because believe me, if the players are watching it for the first time, Kahuna's a slow burn, right? He will change his mind after the season starts on a few of you when he sees
I'm always open to changing my mind.
I'm not. I'm always pretty
pretty set in your ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I think it's only
that's a new record, by the way, Danny. This is officially the longest live we've ever done on the channel. So well done, boys. It's been a marathon.
Good job. I mean, yeah, all I gotta say is that it's 2 a.m, and I think that's the only reason why I'm agreeing with Chris. But if it's any other time, we're not agreeing. It'll be it would be a completely different rankings.
Please don't change your mind. No, we won't. You mean in regards to where people are sitting for Soul Survivor?
Yeah, because we've got him number 1.
I feel like for us is worried. Is there anything that you get up to that's too naughty on the show where you're like, oh no, these boys might change their mind if they see me getting all this villainous stuff happening up on the show? Listen, I think it's going to be a great season. I'm looking forward to seeing what Feras is getting up to. And Feras, by the way, what a legend. What a legend for staying here until the end.
We've also got
Aileen.
Aileen,
Aileen, welcome to the live. We really look forward to seeing you play the show and seeing how you do. I really hope that this season does deliver. The last season was so good. We will be recapping each week on the channel, the episodes as well. It won't be as long as this. It won't be a 3-hour podcast. We're going to try and keep it down to an hour with the highlights for each one of the 3 episodes each week here on the channel. It will be the same time slot. So it will be 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time each week to talk about it. Chadut coming in with the $2. Thank you so much to say we did it. And Frankie for the win. Chadut, if you've got your person, wave that flag. Mark, same. Thank you so much for being here until the end. We really appreciate you. Enjoy the season, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. I believe we will. And like I said, make sure to check in every week. Same time. It'll be around an hour. It won't be 3 hours. We'll just talk about the highlights. We'll try and have as much fun as we can. And I will make sure Kuna has a sleep beforehand. He's going to come in a lot more happy in the next live as well. I promise. But for now, that is it. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps with growing the channel so much. Hit a like on this video. Put the notification bell on so you can be informed next time when we go live as well. But for now, thank you so much, everybody. Grab your torches. Head back to camp. We'll catch you next week. Bye.